Mystic Flare and some extra damage to really help him out, and maybe even push him to a bit more net worth at that 20-minute mark. I'm curious to see how much they get out of this Sky.
Oh, he did go for Staff of the Scion as his facet choice. Very interesting. So whenever he deals damage to an enemy hero, reduces all his ability cooldowns by 0.1 seconds, which is not something that I've seen. At least the Skies that I have seen did go for the Shield of Scion, which is also kind of a meh. And also, why does this hero have 0 armor? I just don't get it. Like, it's not like this hero is OP by any means.
No, this is his first pick of the qualifiers. People aren't exactly high stocking Skywrath Mage. When was the last time we really saw high stocks in Sky?
I don't think he was ever a thing. I don't like this hero
ever.
Yeah, I don't think this hero was ever super good. Like, he was never a first pick material. Maybe my memory is bad, but I don't think we've seen Skywrath Mage being prioritized in any of the drafts ever since the hero has been added to the game.
Trying to think what could make this hero
real buffs.
Viable.
Don't give him fake buffs. He's receiving nothing. I'll go through the change list to tell you about, like, swapping to level 10 and 15 talents and stuff. Like, +1 on this doesn't do anything. Let's check it out.
He needs real buffs. Nice, Froggy. Hear that? Real buffs for my guy Sky. You'd think he'd get some real buffs too, considering he was the main character of the of the long quest line that we were doing last year.
So yeah, level 10 plus 0.5 Arcane Bolt Intelligence damage factor changed to 125 Arcane Bolt caster. This is just like, what is this? Arcane Bolt pierces spell immunity. Level 25 talent has been changed. Nobody's playing this hero for level 25. Mana cost has been reduced in Arcane Bolt and 738C by 5 mana. Ruin and Restoration spell lifesteal increased by 5%. So these are the type of changes. It is a wall of text, but this is nothing in terms of what the hero actually needs. He needs a little bit of survivability. He needs better cast range, cast animation. Ooh, Fly getting initiated on.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage here from the concussive shots and the battle hunger. He'll tick down pretty low, but he's got the Tango regen to be okay. At least for the moment. I think Jinky's trying to position himself in a spot where he can get another concussive shot off onto the Tiny specifically, but Ollie staying closest to this Skywrath Mage in the moment.
Fly's in a lot of trouble. He did buy Healing Salve, but he also needs his career to get back to base so that he can bring it. And right now, keeping him low, using Battle Hunger, this is quite a lot of harassment. Like, there's a reason why this lane was considered to be strong when Axe was meta, because you needed, like, your level 1 is super strong with this double slow. You can't get close. You're going to get out-harassed. But maybe the reason why I sound a little bit bitter is because I want Skywrath Mage to be viable as a hero. And every single patch, there's somebody different that is kind of owning, but it is never Sky.
No, it is truly never Sky, who is just keeping Fly back. Pops that stick and has one more Tango remaining. Jinkyu using a lot of that mana. I believe, what does he have coming out on that courier? A Clarity and a Blood Grenade, looking to maybe get a kill. He's at least opening up the lane right now for XXS. With the Battle Hunger and the constant concussive shots. Now. Oh boy. They have been quite the issue. He's been passed over another shared Tango. He's popped that salve. I mean, the regen is going quickly for Fly. He is just spending all the regen. We're 2.5 minutes into the lane.
Axe is also not committing with pretty much anything. Battle Hunger is 50 mana level 1, which you also don't need any other mana. I also want to see if he does decide to put another point in Battle Hunger, or if he wants to go for the call. Putting second point in Battle Hunger could be okay. It does slow your farm, but maybe you're going to be able to grab the kill. Lowers the cooldown by 5 seconds. Fake hype in the bottom lane by Ame. Nothing's going on. Lotus is going to respawn Boboka. Let's see. Skewer is on cooldown, so this one does belong to Ame.
Yeah, and then it'll help him sustain in the lane. He was taking a lot of damage, but Polosin going into the early Shadow Word, so he'll have some heals here for the Doom. Life's pretty simple for a Warlock. Just heal your Doom. Or at least try to make sure you can. He doesn't exactly have the mana for it, and now Ame, a little bit vulnerable. And he's got this Scorched Earth. He's actually burning Bobica. The Shadow Word's onto the Bobica Magnus, who will get first blood. And eventually will tick out here.
Yeah.
It was pretty close, honestly.
You're definitely fine with getting a trade like this. Polosin as well will need to deny himself to Roshan.
Roche very happy to get a kill.
Yeah, there's a big difference. Like, Emo is super aggressive as a mid laner. Bobica already making the move.
Skewer hits on XM, and now they've got the Shockwave to pull him back. They're looking for the right clicks, and they got it. Bobica actually the kill onto XM while that right click was coming out from the Lina. That's another good kill to get here for Yakult, while Xtreme top lane, surprisingly so, haven't gotten a kill, but it has kept Fly from being able to hit creeps. So he's only 12-2 on this Tiny.
Bobica had some amazing performances during Dream League on Magnus. I had to double check the win rate because pretty much every single game that I saw he was owning, and he did win it, but played it 5 times, did have 60% win rate, so did lose some of the games as well, but overall he's doing really well. And Polosin again,
he's in so much trouble. Yeah, Skewer back puts him close, and Ame hitting away at old 11, but it doesn't quite have the damage to get a kill there. Another kill for the side of Yakult, who have been playing pretty aggressive in this bottom lane. Old 11, this is one of his signatures, this Enigma. Call connects. Fly on the run back, but they've got the shackle under the tower. And the avalanche, a lot of damage being taken here by XXS, and that is not what you want to be seeing.
Fly is constantly at low HP, and he's just gonna straight up die here. Level 2 in Arcane Bolt, Blood Grenade as well. Also, XXS already has Vanguard. We talked about Tiny not being the strongest laner in terms of the pressure that he puts onto the enemy, and you're also playing with 5 Shadow Shamans, so the damage is really not gonna be there. You're also playing against Axe, who's a relatively strong laner, playing against Karat Mage as well. That is strong laner. It's just that we're not seeing this hero because he falls off relatively quickly in the mid, especially in the late game. But this lane allows them to get an early Vanguard. XXS, he already has Vanguard 6 minutes into the game.
Damn. We've been seeing a lot of this quick Vanguard pickups throughout the qualifier so far. Looks like they might be looking for a kill here over mid with Jin Q making the rotation, but level 6 for Emo, and TP's available on everybody but Fly.
Look what XXS is doing. He has double creep wave, but we'll wait for that one.
Silence was on Emo. There's the turnaround. They've got the shackles. They'll get the kill, and they wanted to get this kill on the Emo. They tried to make a move, but they just didn't have the damage, and everybody having TPs available. Ollie leaves the top lane, knowing that XXS was behind enemy lines anyway and not close to Fly, and they get this turnaround kill.
I'm a little bit biased towards Axe. I love good Axe players to see them in action. First of all, he drags the creep wave to the medium camp on the side, and now he drags it to the Boglet camp, picks up the rune as well on top of that. Just maximizing his farm, and he knows that if they're showing heroes, like Tiny's not gonna rotate, he can't kill him.
No.
It needs to be Lina, Tiny, probably Magnus, so at least 3 heroes to be able to kill him.
He's just been pulling this creep wave over. Yeah, thinking about it. Not able to get it, but they've got the Shockwave bottom as well as the Skewer. Polosin dead again. Old 11 getting that one. You know, this is things going right in the bottom lane for the side of Yakult, but you're seeing Axe feel very strong, and he does have that level 6. He does have that Culling Blade. Fly hit on the edge of that call, and he is going to die here alone. Nobody in this lane to help him out.
Ooh, this is a massive problem. Void Spirit has also been struggling a little bit in terms of CS. He did die for that rotation. Bobica did, but XM, I really like this. Every single Void Spirit that did go for Spirit Vessel kind of did better from what I've seen rather than rushing the Aghanim Scepter, because the components you're buying, even though you are... my brain stopped working. You're not at your universal hero, and it does feel you're benefiting a lot more from the stats, of course, but these are very expensive components that you're buying. Like, your impact before you get the Aghanim Scepter is still going to be your toolkit, but at least now with Urn of Shadows, you have some kind of a damage, and also Spirit Vessel has been changed, so it requires Diadem instead of the booster, which is really nice, and that's extra stats.
Ame throws the Doom out, but immediately down to about half health, and they can't exactly chase this Enigma, so he's out for free. They will get a kill here on a Bobica. I guess you could say Doom and... There's a kill there in the usage, but it wasn't on the hero that got doomed. They have the Hex. They throw down that massive Serpent Ward. They look for a kill here onto XXS. He's trying to run away, but that Ether Shock from Ali is what finishes him off.
Do not underestimate the damage from Giga Ward. 600 damage, level 1.
Yeah, it is one shot and creeps, doing a lot of damage to these heroes.
It is impossible. Like, you drop that thing, as a support, your carry can't get CS. Like, every single CS belongs to Shadow Shaman. You can't last hit the tower against it. Unless you're super lucky.
It's a little bit tough. Black Hole. Ame. He is going to die for sure. They throw over a Battle Hunger and a Culling Blade onto Old 11, so they do get a trade.
And this is the build I talked about on Axe, skipping Blade Mail. Instead of going for Vanguard, Blade Mail, Face Boots, it's a lot of commitment. Like, you basically need another 4,000 gold on top of your Vanguard. So picking up Blink Dagger after Vanguard feels good, especially if you are having a good time, which means that your Berserker Skull is going to be maxed out at the time. So you really don't need to have Blade Mail. Plus, on top of that, he also found Chipped Vest. So returning 30 damage to heroes as a tier 1 neutral item on top of the counter Helix feels really nice, and doesn't feel like at that point of the game you need Blade Mail just to be able to burst the heroes. Plus, there's another plus. Seems like there's a lot of mat. You have Scarlet Mage too, so damage is not going to be lacking.
He's in a lot of trouble. Turns, though, towards Bobica. Has some help. They'll get the kill on Ame. They end up throwing down the Chaotic Offering. They take out Old 11. 2 heroes dead for the price of their carry. And it's a quick 1-2 for the side of Xtreme Gaming. And they lose Ame again. They slow down this Doom. Of course, you can make that gold back as time goes by. But him and Fly aren't exactly having fun in the carry role.
Oh, definitely not. Ame did die 3 times. Fly did die 2 times. Still far away from his big item. First of all, he wants to get Hand of Midas, get some of that extra damage, and Fatal Bonds.
XM could have had that kill. He kind of left him there, and now they find XXS. That's going to slow down that Axe, who's been having some good progression. That being said, he dies right after he buys that Blink Dagger, so that's not exactly the worst death in the world for him because he was able to buy out on that item.
Yeah, still good rotations. Ollie finding 2 really big kills on Axe 2 times. Shackle, 3 points in it. Hex as well, level 8, 11 minutes into the game.
Able to close the distance. He's got this early Kobold Cup. So it gets that extra little bit of movement speed and gets into range, trying to get an Aether Lens first. He's got the gold for the energy booster, and he's 650 gold away from picking up this recipe for the Aether Lens too. So Shadow Shaman trying to be as effective as he can from a distance.
Yeah, I don't think they're investing much gold into sentries on both supports. They kind of want to get their big items and can't really blame them. These are relatively greedy position 4 and 5, and they are having a good time. Bobica, he got the first blood. He's been involved in 6 out of 9 kills. Nice. And also getting very close to his Blink Dagger. So 400 gold away. We talked about Ether Lens. There's 500 gold away now. So when they get those items, they can start to play much more aggressive. Even though XXS had a great... He's still on top of the network, don't get me wrong. But even with 2 deaths, and now they are making a move. Blink Dagger is ready.
Who can they find with this Blink Dagger? They'll have Mystic Flare to follow it up. They also have XM with the Astral Step. They can get the Lina, that'd be a big kill, but instead it's going to be Bobica. And Magnus, definitely one who's happy to tank a gank like that. But they do find a second in Ollie, I believe, landing that Aether Remnant. The Hex comes through, and Ollie's going to be dead again. Chase down Spirit Vessel. XM with the double kill. A good movement there from Xtreme Gaming, evening us up at 9.
This Spirit Vessel is doing a lot of work. Look at his HP on Void Spirit. He's sitting at 1800 HP, plus Spirit Vessel heal, Sister Shrouds. He has Brawny as his enchantment, plus Treads, of course. Ame, can they find something here? XM.
11. Chase is on. The Doom is used. They land the Infernal Blade. They'll get a kill here onto the Enigma. And Xtreme Gaming just getting kill after kill at the moment. And this is lining up with the 14-minute Shrine. They swipe that Shrine. They get that experience, which is pretty important. You've got greedy supports, and you want to give them their levels as well. But now the supports are going to be the ones getting it, and they also had XSS grab the Shrine. Both Shrines picked up for Xtreme Gaming. The experience is going to be favoring them just a little bit. The experience difference, though, even with taking both of those Shrines, is practically even. Avalanche comes through. They're going to need some extra control here on XM, but they go. They've got the RP, the Skewer back with the Laguna, and the LSA. They get the kill on XM. Chaotic Offering is just a little bit too late. The Fatal Bonds connects everybody here on the side of Yakult. They need to be a little bit careful. They do not have the damage, though, of XM. Shockwave misses, but Ollie's got the Hex. And he's got that Giga Ward down. The Shackles, the Blink, the Call on a 2.
That's it.
And that's a Black Hole on the edge, though. That is perfectly placed from Old 11. They get the kill on XXS and Jin-Q. They end up losing Ollie, but that is well done by that Enigma to just throw down that Black Hole and make sure there was no Culling Blades to follow that up.
Oh, I'm going to say XXS, he is a bit slow on those dunks. Maybe he managed to get the dunk. The extra movement speed would get him out of the Black Hole before. But, yeah, nicely done by Old 11. And, again, two supports doing quite a lot of work. Old Brothers, supports owning. Now they have those items we talked about. And Mag sitting on 1,000 gold on top of his Blink Dagger. So I want to see what he's going to be buying next. Whether he wants to go for Lens, whether he wants to pick up Yule Scepter, Mana Boots. Very action-packed game.
Yeah, we've seen some games. I mean, the two of us had a couple of games where it felt like it was
some snooze fest.
I wasn't going to say it like that, but you know.
I mean, just gotta call them what they were.
That's fair.
1-1 at 13 minutes into the game. Like, what are we doing?
It's farming. But yeah, this one 24 kills in 16 minutes. That is quite the bloodbath so far. XXS, I believe, getting that Cooling Blade, by the way, on Old 11 in that last kill. He's now coated in 3.6 armor.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. But also something to point out about Culling Blade is he doesn't care about Shadow Shaman's foul play. You just dunk him immediately, which is also a relatively good counter to Shaman, so he's not going to be able to run away. It's not as good as it was before, when you had like 3 chickens and you could hex yourself, so basically become unkillable, but still killing him immediately, you don't need to wait for another like 2 seconds to be able to get some kind of a spell on him. And another smoke. XXS and Jin-Q are paired up.
Or maybe they could catch Emo for a second, but he backs all the way off this triangle. Feeling the spidey senses tingling. They'll clean up the mid lane and creeps and try to get a tier 1 tower in this lane. Wonder if it's going to be Blink Dagger next for Ollie, because he, without the Blink Dagger, has positioned himself so well to have some very important shackle and hexes.
Yeah, I think eventually he is going to get it. Shadow Shaman does get good amount of farm. You drop down that Mass Serpent Ward. It's not going to be killed in the middle of a fight, and if you're fighting around it or fighting near the tower, you're still going to be getting some extra gold. Pretty even game so far. Tiny, we haven't seen Fly getting involved. He wants to get his Shadow Blade. Echo Saber Shard is on him. They are moving across the map. They just got scouted by that observer ward on the hill.
After fighting so much, both teams kind of avoiding each other for the moment. There is a smoke used here by Yakult as they're going to try and make their move. They have their big ultis all back up. RP is available, Black Hole as well, and they will find themselves a kill onto Pelosin. As the game continues to sit here pretty even the entire time, really Yakult are also looking for the impact from their Tiny, which they've really yet to feel. He's 0-2 and 3. He's going into a Shadow Blade, but he's not here for this Giga Ward attempt at going for Roche. He's unneeded for it.
We've seen Ame yesterday. I believe his build was BKB into Shadow Blade, and then he upgraded that. You need to turn off your Radiance if you're going for this type of a play. Try to surprise somebody. Gives you good maneuverability in a fight as well. Sometimes invisibility is invincibility, especially at the later stages of the game. And we also saw him get an upgraded Shadow Blade, having Silver Edge, breaking Shadow Shaman, basically two-hitting him, not allowing him to get his foul play, which is breakable, by the way.
Breakable and maybe not even usable, like you said, if you get hit by that Culling Blade. XXS is trying to go into his own BKB. Item progression, the name of the game, and they're looking for this Aghanim Scepter for Xtreme, who went to the early Spirit Vessel. And, you know, the early Spirit Vessel allowed him to go 4, 2, and 3. He's had a couple of kills around the map. Ame is actually the one who doesn't have a kill, despite the fact that he has 6 assists using this Doom where he can and having this Radiance. Maybe a little bit of a surprise, but he has been a little bit quiet since the laning stage and him getting kind of killed a couple more times than maybe he would have liked.
Yeah. Not the ideal KDA for Ame. You know what's the ideal KDA for Doom?
666.
Yeah, that is correct.
Oh, yes. I passed the Lacoste test. I was worried, actually. Truthfully, I thought I was going to say 666, and you were going to be like, no, 10-0. Why would you want to have 6 deaths?
I did not. No. You got it correctly.
Aghanim Scepter finished off for the Void Spirit, as XM now having access to that upgrade on the Resonant Pulse. That gives him 2 charges. Has that silence. They find an easy kill there onto Ali, and like we've been talking about, you don't get to have any foul play when you get Culling Bladed.
I mean, he is the most contested hero. Well, that's why we're seeing Shadow Blades upgraded to Silver Edges, then not getting the foul play, getting dunked.
Emo
has Shield Rune.
Does have the Shield Rune. He'll soak up all that Mystic Flare with said Shield Rune. They back away from him immediately. There was the chance that Bobica maybe came in and throws down an RP, but doesn't end up doing so. He actually has taken no levels in power, but he will use this RP. Do they have the extra control to skewer their Hex and the Laguna? Really well done by Yakult. They stacked the stuns and the lockdown really well to allow them to get that kill.
Yeah, perfect execution of a kill. Void Spirit, we talked about him being tanky, sitting at 2000 HP. If he has Strength Threads, if he has Essence Ring, that's another 500 HP plus Magic Wand. So basically, almost 3000 HP, maybe some extra heal, had Healing Lotuses as well, so super tanky. They could not allow him to get any spells off or any abilities, any items. And Emo now pushing the tower. It's not about Emo, it's about that Giga Ward. Look at this thing.
Blah. Blah. Blah.
Oh! Skyrath Mage with 109 damage gets a deny. Nice done by Jinq.
Right through the trees. Doesn't get caught for it. Nice job. They were so sure that they had that they even send Emo away. They knew that the Giga Ward had it, but ends up getting denied.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bobica maybe waiting for somebody to come through the trees, but he still doesn't have RP for 40 seconds. He's locking for his BKB as well. Ame doing the same. He's got this Shadow Blade finished off. He's going to want this BKB. sticking around as
Radiant are scanning.
Tormentor is available, but neither team really looking to go for it. Actually starting to move their way towards bottom. Old 11 and Ollie will be down here. And they've got the Doom. It's on the Fly. Hex from a distance. Blink Call. Mystic Flare is there. Culling Blade onto Ollie again. This Doom is going to wear off, and he is TPing. XXS doesn't have anything for him. That was close.
It feels in this game, whoever gets the first initiation pretty much is winning the fight. When Boboka is getting the skewer backs, when they are getting the calls or dooms, they are the ones winning the fight. Interesting item choice from Old 11. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm not the biggest fan of this Enigma with Helm of the Overlord, especially with that item in between, because he did go for drums, and then he realized this item is just not gonna do as much. Like, it's a relatively expensive item, and we kind of missed the timing, so I'm gonna be switching to something different. Helm of the Dominator is fine for scouting purposes, dealing extra bit of a damage as well, allows you to scout things out, and Helm recipe is only 300 gold, so he can definitely sell that and not lose too much value.
Getting croakered a little bit there is Old 11. Almost has this BKB. Gonna be committing for it potentially of 4,000 gold. Using this Warpine Raider just to help push out the lane with his Eidolons.
Again, this is not an ideal BKB Enigma game by any means. You're playing against Axe, Golem, Doom. Basically 3 abilities that are gonna stop your black hole from going off. Axe is not the most reliable one, but the other 2 are pretty easy to execute.
Right. When he purchases out on the BKB, I'm a little upset. We kind of jinxed it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We
what
had
did we jinx?
12-12 at 16 minutes, talking about how it's been such a strong game and a bloodbath, meaning when they've got the RP, they have the LSA, they hit the black hole. It's on a 2, but the silence is there. Stops that black hole. Pelosin then throws out the Chaotic Offering, and Old 11's going to die. He actually doesn't have that BKB
No,
on
BKB was with the
himself.
courier.
So he goes to the black hole a little bit early, and it ends up getting stopped, which allows him to be vulnerable and ends up dying.
Oof. He died, but they also got 2 really big kills out of it. Roshan may respawn in a minute and 10. Still yet to see Tiny in action. Like, we haven't seen Tiny fully. Boboka's starting to put more points into Empower. He was getting some points in Skewer, and of course Shockwave. You need 5 points in Shockwave because of the facet. But Tiny, this is how Tiny plays. Especially if he's playing from behind, he needs his basically 3 items: Echo Saber, Shadow Blade, and get that shard. And then he needs to start getting slightly more active. But Fly, he has been on the farming mission, now picking up BKB as well. What has Ame been up to? I guess his BKB is getting delivered.
Yeah, I was about to say he is building a BKB. It's going into the AC next, so they'll have quite the armor. They're also looking for a shard on Axe, so he wants that upgrade of the Berserker's Call and the Battle Hunger.
Radiant's top tower is
Well, the
under
game's
attack.
still sitting here about even. I was saying we kind of jinxed, well, maybe just me, but I said it was 12-12. At 16 minutes, it was a
it's always
bloodbath.
us. When something bad happens and when something good happens, it was you solo. It's just the way it is.
I don't know if that's true. I think we do a lot of great, you know?
I see.
I can hype us up. I kind of do that.
You can also lie if you have to, but make us look good.
I'll try my hardest. Fly towards the top lane, and XXS is here with Pelosin as well as Ame actually in the vicinity. They were to have spotted Fly, but he kind of gets wind of this and TPs over towards mid. They're all TPing towards mid. They might be looking for a smoke play. They've got a couple of smokes on Shadow Shaman. Roche up in a while. I'll just say that. Still can't read that analog clock. But Ame's spending all this time devouring, farming. He's level 18. He's got level 3 on the Doom now. And Fly kind of edged into vision for a second. But nobody fighting. You know, it was 12-12 at 16 minutes. 12 minutes later, we've only had 7 more kills.
Yeah, it has been pretty silent. Waiting for next Roche. You said you don't want to read the clock, but it should be up in like 140, up to 2 minutes.
Well, it's only got 1:30 remaining on the clock, on the actual dial. I don't know if that's accurate these days.
No, I'm not sure if this has been updated, but it has not been accurate since at least in the last week. Yeah, it has. I've not noticed it. And another smoke for Yakult Bros. Let's see if they're going to be able to find anything. Doesn't seem like it.
Yakult using this smoke, but trying to find anything they can. It's taking some time. They're letting the feeling of omnipresence ferment. XXS is going to pop that BKB. Fly. He pops his own BKB. They've got the Hex that lands on XM. They'll land the Avalanche to go with it. They've got the Shackles, but do they have the extra control with the LSA and the toss? They do. They've got the damage. Chaotic Offering just a little bit too late to really help out. Not only that, but they've picked up that gem that Pelosin bought. Blink in, call. They might drop this gem right back. Ooh, they have the black hole. It's on the 2. XXS, Xinq dead. They've got the RP. There's the LSA and the toss back. And Ame falls too. It's a symphony of skills here for Yakult, and they lose anything.
This is such a nicely, again, executed fight from them immediately. Like, they have explosive damage coming out from Tiny, coming out from Lina, so whoever gets initiated on by Shadow Shaman or with Magnus, especially with the Skewer back, they definitely have enough to kill it. And Old 11, after picking up that BKB, now already has a Blink Dagger on top of it, so lands a 2-man black hole, and Ame doesn't get anything off. No BKB, no Doom.
And that was really well done there by Yakult. The black hole on a 2. Bobica looking for his target. Doesn't need to waste it and stack stun, so he's got the RP available still for Ame. And that's what allows them to get themselves 4 kills. I mean, this is...
Yeah, this is a bit overzealous from Axel.
Yeah.
The rest of the team was not there, not ready to back him up. He didn't have BKB, so gets hexed immediately. I believe Shadow Shaman is also... Now, he's not level 15 yet, but when he gets 15, if he breaks Axe, a lot of that damage... Ooh, that's a super easy kill.
Yeah, they got the Aegis, though, so that'll be Emo coming back again, and now XM... LSA, they've got the stacking stuns, and they just have so much control on the side of Yakult Brothers that they get this one easily. Fuels up into the air, but they've got the Shockwave back, pulling him again. Pelosin's dead to Old 11, and these Eidolons, as it's 2 more kills, an Aegis that was expended already, but advantage Yakult.
Sure, you grabbed another kill, but I feel like Void Spirit's damage in the last couple of fights, it's just not there. Same goes for Doom. Like, Doom didn't deal a single instance of damage. He got caught in the previous fight. This Shadow Blade, it did work out in the previous series that they played, but right now, in this game, they did not get any value out of it. You know? Lina, as a turret, pretty much sieging the high ground from the distance. He still didn't pick up his Dormant Curio. He does have Vast on top of it, so extra bit of attack range on top of Hurricane Pike. And that's going to be easy racks for them.
Yeah, it just feels pretty simple for Lina, right? You could just do it from so far away, right click. You become the machine gun that just hits through these towers. Down goes the tower. And then you've got a Giga Serpent Ward that just helps you with level 2 and 1,000 damage per right click. So you've got the what could be considered the machine gun, you've got the trebuchet, you've got really everything going for you in terms of taking towers and objectives for the side of Yakult. And they might find Ame. He BKBs and he even thinks about throwing down the Doom, but they have the black hole, and this BKB is going to run out, and Ame's life is going to be taken.
Jesus, that damage from Lina. Amplified damage plus Alpha
XM?
Wolf on top of that, and they found another one.
RP, toss, lining up the lockdown, and they just do it so well. Yakult just letting it rip here.
Looking at the buyback status, both of these don't have buybacks, so this is going to be another set of barracks. Even without Black Hole, it's very difficult for them to take the fight. No RP, no Black Hole, but you have Tiny, you have Lina with amplified damage, Vlad's as well, Old 11, pretty much building every single aura. Drums as well. Like these cheaper auras, not going for the max, not going for Crimson or Pipe, but these smaller auras that are going to amplify the damage output of Tiny and Lina.
Really doing quite well, and Bobica being shown taking that -5 seconds on the skewer cooldown.
I brought it down to 11 seconds, so basically you can use that multiple times. Bobica has been toying with the idea of going Yashikaya on Magnus, which is a really nice item because of the cast speed. It seems like he wants to go for it. I was thinking, do I need something else? Do I need a Shadow Blade? Bobica having a blast of a game. And also Emo. Something to point out that Emo didn't die a single time.
5-0-11. 310-ish last hits. Going for Silver Edge next. This item seems to be back in its own way. Shadow Blade / Silver Edge. I think
Might be slightly forced on Doom. On Tiny, it is pretty standard item. On Lina, some people get it, some don't. It really depends. I think it is it is an S tier item on Lina because you want to maneuver in the fights. Your damage output is also there. You have Mjolnir, you get supercharged, so the attack speed definitely is there. I mean, you can get more damage with the Daedalus, but I think maneuverability and survivability on Lina kind of needed more in most of the situations. Something I don't like, something I talked about during the Dream League, because we've seen a bunch of Lina, is when she is pretty much the solo damage dealer in the team, most of the Linas do fall short. But now you have Tiny, so you're never going to be lacking damage. You have Tiny, you have Vlad, you have Alpha Wolf. Tiny has 900 plus damage.
Oh. Casually. Just a whole bunch of damage there for him. And the most important damage is almost there.
Mental damage.
Wait, well, yeah. I was going to say Gig Award, but to each their own.
I was thinking
Gig
maybe
Award
they
hits
should
at
start
level
all
3.
chatting right now. Move towards Vlad's and Alpha Wolf. Let's see that damage. 600, actually 1,000 damage on Tiny now. Oof. With Daedalus, Gunpowder, Titanic as well, so extra base damage, which is going to work amazingly on Tiny. So we're in 1,100 territory right now, plus extra attack range and some status resistance. Great against Axe with his Insurmountable sitting at 26% status resistance.
Emo has helped on to the dormant Curio no longer. It
is time. Like you're about to close out this game, you need to use the item.
Has gone to this upgraded Alert Giants Maul, so has the critical damage 195% on it.
Yeah, basically a double damage crit now.
Oh, Ame. They're TPing in. They hit him with the avalanche, the toss. He'll start to run. Can't get far enough away. No, they've got the harpoon. They'll doom up this Magnus, but Gale Guard is there. He'll survive that doom, and Ame is dead for another 70 seconds. Unfortunate for Ame. He has just not really had a repeat performance of the game he had yesterday on this Doom.
No, he has been shut down. We talked about the perfect score on Doom. 0, 6, and 7. Close to it, but definitely not it.
Not really at all. See if they wait for potentially this next Roche. They're up so much, I really don't believe that they need to do so. Blink call, Mystic Flare,
This is
I say
big,
that.
massive kill.
Huge quick kill on a fly. He really was gone in the blink of an eye.
Tower is under attack.
Can you read this clock, this remnant? What time it is?
Midnight, 11, 9, 6. I mean,
It's a cool shard. I don't know, like I haven't seen it being super good in any of the situations yet, because Void Spirit started to become slightly more popular in 39 patch, but we'll have to see. Also, this is not a good sign. Seeing 9 Spirit Vessel charges on the hero, that means that either you're owning or you're not clicking the buttons. And with 20k gold deficit, I would say that they are not owning at the moment.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough for them. That last kill in Fly is pretty big, though. Shadow Shaman going Wind Waker. Gem passed over to Boca. Ame again invis. He's just trying to find as much farm as he can. He wants a Blink Dagger. They've really slowed him down and kind of not shut him down because he still has 20,000 net worth. Roche up, by the way.
Dire are scanning.
Let's see what they can get out of this if they're going to smoke and try and find a kill first. Fly just cleaning up some creeps. He wants that swift blink. He wants to output quite a bit of damage at quick intervals. But who's going to set up for it? Who's going to get there? Roche now making the long walk, the long journey towards bottom.
Yeah, Shield Rune on Fly. Extra 2000 HP. Might make a difference, but they also show that he can be bursted by 3 heroes, basically Scarlet Mage ulti, which is level 2. And also Access Call with the Blade Mail. How many OD staffs do we have? I see 2 of them. There's Pyrrhic as well on Void Spirit. OD staff is a very good item for dodging stuff. Also, why are we adding heroes, cosmetics, and items? Like Helm of the Undying, OD staff. Guys, it's not funny. Just return their items. Actually griefing.
Taking away from other heroes. Look at Feroce. They've got the Giga Ward down at level 3, so it's got that 1440 damage. But here comes the side of Xtreme Gaming, and they will get X7XXS. Fly with the double kill, just so quick on the trigger, especially with the help of that RP coming in from Bobica. Doom used, but I don't think you have the numbers or the damage. Ami's going to run forward, but he's right into a black hole. He can scream Murph all he wants, but he's deep into that black hole and dead. Jinkyu also falls, and this is just all Yakult.
Oh, they're going to call it. GG. They know they have no business left in this game. Just going to throw it out there. Coming into the second game, this Magnus has to go. I really like the draft from Yakult Brothers because they protected their Lina. First one, it is Shadow Fiend carry. It is also
that's the second one.
That's the second one. And you have Dark Lord. What was his name from Dota 1? My brain just stopped working.
Nevermore?
Nevermore. Yeah, Nevermore. That's the third one. And not going to be an easy game for him either, seeing how many heroes they have that can potentially run at him. I know that Fly loves to play the hero, but it needs to be Emo that needs to pop off. Maybe he did go for Masochist Facet just so that he have more damage, because you do build into Dagon with this build. So being able to burst down heroes paired up with Ancient Apparition, sometimes that extra bit of oomph could make the difference. And something to point out, this is really good on position for Ancient Apparition. If you haven't tried it, feel free to give it a go. Orb of Venom on Ancient Apparition. It is it is 30 damage that you deal, plus Chilling Touch as well, extra 30 damage. Makes it very difficult to trade against AA. And also, once you get to level 2, with Ice Vortex, increase magic damage by 16%. So that's extra, like, 5 damage on your Chilling Touch and extra 5 damage on your Orb of Venom.
Watching some of my friends' pubs that are much higher ranked than me. They are immortal players. I saw some ancient apparitions in their pubs going Orb of Frost.
It depends. I think Orb of Frost is a bit... Maybe it's good on some heroes because it does allow you to slow them down or reduce their regen as well. Ame, he is fully ready to go. Fully ready to go with the same item build that he did play yesterday, I believe. So, not going for Primal Spring at all. Going full farm mode. 1 Mantle / Null. Sage Mask just to have that extra bit of mana regen, and then into the Radiance.
Yeah, it goes without boots for a while with this build. At least that's what he did it last time, right? I'm curious to see how Emo ends up playing in a spin matchup. Already eating a lot of damage here. Not fun for Emo sitting at 90 health. Of course, trying to get this early bottle. Secure some of these 2-minute runes if he can. But Emo needs to have a very strong start for his team. Xtreme, meanwhile, they're kind of content. Things don't need to be going over the top or over the moon for them to really feel confident in this game. Bramble Maze on a fly. Meanwhile, top lane Pelosin dying there to Bobica, who gets that first blood. So that Chilling Touch, that Orb of Venom already proven to be pretty strong.
It is a lot of harassment damage. I don't think Ame is going to be having a good time. Usually Bane is the hero that secures you the lane, but maybe not in this matchup. Pango is playing with also Thunderbolt Facet, not opting to go for the double shield crash. Wants to have that extra move speed on Rolling Thunder. By extra move speed, I mean the turn. And Queen of Pain, Emo, keeping to a mid lane. Very nice move. Unless he dies somehow, then his game would be pretty screwed. But managing to pick up 2 bounties, sorry, 2 water runes makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, hydrating in the mid lane always very important. And going to your point about how Old 11 actually went into the Thunderbolt Facet, he was holding on a double jump till the end. And then he must have switched it. Which is a little bit of a surprise. Well, considering that he was holding it. But look at the damage that Emo is taking. He is forced to pick up all these water runes, but this is just not that good of a start for him in terms of damage.
Yep, damage. The reason why Dead Prophet is also picked is that she did receive a relatively big buff in terms of damage output in 739. Damage has been increased on Crypt Swarm from 85 level 1 to 100. And level 2 from 165 to 175. So 15 on level 1 and 10 on level 2, which makes it quite a lot of difference in terms of how strong you are in the lane. XM definitely not gonna die in this one. Not until maybe Emo gets level 6. Maybe there's gonna be some kind of rotation as well.
Death Prophet casually spirit siphoning to just about full health,
he wants to secure the rune.
He'll come over. He'll also, I believe, use that Lotus on Emo.
This is next level. Bobok first, Queen of Pain. And they also have Naga Siren with the illusion. So both supports playing heavily around Emo, making sure that he is getting his bottle refilled twice. Emo buying Blood Grenade on top of that. Wants to have that kill presence in the lane.
And not only is he getting both water runes, but he was also picked over on the Lotus. So Bobica gave that to him to make Emo feel comfortable in the lane. And now he's walking back over while Emo, after getting all that support, is immediately down to about 200 health and has to sip on that water rune and sip on that bottle. And this is Emo struggling to maintain life, but he has not died. And
Yeah,
that's
imagine
the biggest thing.
He used TP, his support used TP, Lotus, the illusions as well, and he picked up 4 water runes and is still losing the matchup.
And that is very frustrating. He'll take Tree Dance at level 2. Ame will throw out that balanced strike, but the Swashbuckle comes in. He'll be sitting low, and he is just trying to hold on and hoard all that gold towards a Radiance. 2 levels in the Ice Vortex for this Ancient Apparition with nothing in the Cold Feet. Bottom lane we really haven't spoken about or looked at. 31 and 5 for Fly. He's farming quite well. Happy with his life so far on this Shadow Fiend. But that's the normal Shadow Fiend feeling, right? You are happy with how it goes early, you die once or twice, and your game's kind of over.
Yeah, pretty much. It's always the same story for Shadow Fiend. So far, he is on top of the CS chart. Doing really well. Brewmaster is not threatening the kill. Also, something to point out that XXS, he did go for a very interesting build. Triple Bracer. Wants to have as much survivability as he possibly can.
Sure. Also has that in the Lotus. But things probably don't amount into many kills unless Ollie, he doesn't have himself a net or a reel in. Yeah, I was just looking at that. He's gone 1-0-2.
Radiant are scanning.
A little shocking. So 7-minute wisdoms will be up and available. Bobik is going to grab his. And the other side is going to be the Brewmaster grabbing for the side of Xtreme. So he wants to get into that 6 as quickly as possible. That means he wants to stick to getting that Wisdom Rune. He wants access to that Primal Split as quickly as he can. And this isn't like the previous Queen of Pain game. Emo's now level 6. But we have seen him on this hero, and he is usually heavy rotations.
Yeah. Let's see
Cold
if he
Feet
decides to
freezing
rotate
over.
maybe to the top lane. They already have 4
Old
people in
11.
the top lane.
He's in trouble, but here comes Fly and Ollie to help out.
XM is coming.
He is coming over, but there was that net and the reel and not really doing anything.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And after all those moves over, everybody just kind of leaves and disengages.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Simple moves for simple rewards. Good things for Emo. Still staying quiet, but as I say that, here they go. They'll find Ame, and that is the kill to get. Meanwhile, Requiem Fly, he dies. Exorcism was committed, and XM is here. They end up trading carries, but that is the first kill on the board for Xtreme, and it definitely, I would say, hurts the Shadow Fiend more.
It definitely does. Monkey King, we've seen him staying on top of the network even when not having that good of a game. Emo wants to use this Arcane Rune, drops the blood grenade that he did have. Oh, he forgot that Monkey has a stun, and now he doesn't have mana. Okay, he does have Arcane Rune. Gets Diadem delivered as well. This could have been a bit of a disastrous for Emo.
Kind of getting lucky on that one that Ame maybe didn't play that more aggressively, or that they didn't have a second hero in the area. I'll keep these supports over in the top lane. Old 11, he's going into an early Lotus Orb.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Not going greedy, knowing that there's not going to be a damage issue between Queen of Pain and Shadow Fiend. You're still going to be like dealing damage, but it's not going to be your Diffusal Blade, your Mage Slayer, any of these items. And it's a very, very good Lotus game. He can precast it on himself, which means that Bane can't get the grip on top of him. He can remove the Silence, remove Bramble Maze, Curse Crown, all these annoying things.
Obuga. Nightmare. And quickly dispatched. Get the net. This is going to be onto the Bane, and the follow-up damage is there. Old 11 getting a return kill onto that opponent's support. Things still staying pretty even, and they've picked up this Talisman of Evasion on Ame. He's working on the Sacred Relic to get this Radiance.
You have both your offlaners going for Radiance and the safe lane. So it is fine. I don't think it was fine a couple of patches ago, even though there was a patch, I believe it was Bedroom Team who did it, where they had Brave King offlane at TI 2023, where 2 Radiance was kind of not meta, but they also showed it that it can work. In this meta, it doesn't really matter as much, especially because Nullifier is such a good item. It's kind of a must-have item on the team, so eventually one of them can turn it. Most likely it's going to be Monkey King, but also you might be going for different targets. Evasion, too good on both of these heroes, especially against Shadow Fiend, so definitely fine. If you also swap Brewmaster's itemization, if he's not going for Radiance, this hero falls off so quickly. We're talking about maybe substituting Spirit Vessel for that Radiance, maybe getting something like Crimson Guard if it's a good game for it, but this also doesn't allow you to have massive impact in the later stages of the game. DM also talked about Brewmaster, his scaling in one of the interviews during the Green League, where he's basically like level 20, level 25, you get the Brewling's health, and they get Drunken Brawler passive on top of that, which makes him super annoying. And at that point of time, if you reach 25, you also have Refresher. Maybe Ame getting initiated on.
Ice Blast is going to be a little bit too far out. This is one of the things that Ancient Apparition offers to the game, is the fact that at any moment, Ice Blast can be a killer, even from behind. Thinking about the Requiem, but gets stopped. Now looking for it again, but now they've got the Cyclone. Can he get it a third time? Finally. It comes through. Meanwhile, Emo got Ame, and Fly's dead again.
He knew he was so dead that he used Raise and was right-clicking creeps. He's like, oh, golden creep there. I should be able to get it. And again, both cores, both carries dying at the same time.
But again, it always feels more devastating for the Shadow Fiend. Maybe that's not the case this early, where it always feels like there's that build-up on Shadow Fiend and then you die twice.
Did you join my club? Did you join Shadow Fiend Hater Club?
No, I'll hold off for now.
I'll give you a discount, $20 a month.
I'm in.
Yeah, sounds good. Hold 11.
All right.
Bolison has grip ready. 2 supports, they definitely have enough damage to kill him. Bedlam, Fiend's grip, dead from 100 to 0.
Not much you can do there. Dagon is purchasable for the Queen of Pain, so buys out on that. Has that flying over, and now you'll have the activation of that Masochist kind of ready to go. But now Ice Blast again. Ame, he is just dead. He will die here to Bobica, and another Ice Blast, another kill onto this Monkey King. And Ame doing that thing he does, where maybe if he plays sacrificial enough, these other 2 cores will carry the game for him.
I keep going back to what happened during the Dream League, this being the most recent tournament. Bobica had a blast of the game. It was a 97-minute game. They were playing against Gaming Gladiators, and he was the one who kind of had an idea how to win the game. XM, using the EXO.
Terrorize. Emo, he is just dead. Song's not going to do anything to save him. And now you expended song, and Exo is used, but these are the big things for the side of Yakult that really help them defend. And they can't really fight an Exorcism. Although Ice Blast onto XXS forces out the Primal Split. They will get this kill in a Bobica.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Pretty simple
kill.
seems. Yeah, just to go in, get the split. Again, lack of control definitely showing for Yakult brothers. Rolling Thunder, we haven't seen it much in action 15 minutes into the game. But to go back to Bobica, the 97-minute game that he played, he was playing Ancient Apparition, and he was inside the Shadow Blade Hex and bots too. He told everybody to buy bots too on the team, so everybody can TP to him, and they get a pick off. So he gets out of Shadow Blade, hexes somebody, and they grab a kill.
Ooh, Emo got a bit of a heal, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Looks like it might be, but now Ame dead again.
When his team is making a move, I think both Ame and Fly need to hug the towers or be somewhere safe, because right now, every single time the team makes a move, they get punished.
Is under attack.
Quite literally every time. And he went for Emo pretty deep. And they got the kill, though. He dies back to back. And if you look at the net worth, you know, Emo's not having that good of a game.
He did not have a good game to start with.
Is under attack.
Like it's just that they outplayed him in the mid lane. XM still playing a very good matchup for him, especially in the before. It was always Queen of Pain who kind of dealt nicely against that Prophet because you had explosive damage. Ancient Apparition. This is it.
Yeah,
this
Ice Blast always feels good.
So they have the tools to deal with this Death Prophet. Ancient Apparition is always going to be a good one. Now bringing in the numbers, and let's see, maybe they have enough damage to actually kill Roshan with Amplify damage, Presence of the Dark Lord, 3 charges on it.
Should be a kill on Roche. Doesn't look like anybody's going to feel it.
Amplify damage is
possible to.
But there is good amount of minus armor.
Yeah.
Pango only 1 point in Lucky Shot, but still Naga Siren, Shadowfin should be enough. It's just not like the fastest Roche.
Doesn't need to be. Get their hands on an Aegis for Emo, who is looking to at least get a little bit of that gold back. Shadowfina looking to go into the BKB. Kaya being built for Queen of Pain, just 500 gold away from that. A lot of Dwarven Curios this time around. Shard for XXS. Coming out, and double Radiance as well. Something you were talking about earlier, Lucas.
Yeah, that's definitely fine. It's not like you're having 2 urns or 2 pipes. Again, Pango is just straight up gonna die.
Oh, is he? Is he?
Where's the combo? Let's see it.
Can they get it through Boundless Strike? And Ame is going to die anyway, but they got the kill onto Ollie.
I think Ame has been... Like, this build is something that he probably pioneered. Fly. Thinking about going on the Brewmaster, but this is not an easy kill.
No, but it is a kill that he gets.
He got it. If you misuse one of the raises, it could make the difference. But Lasting Presence, he did have 2 charges on it, so the tower and his 1 hit did make a difference. It's a tier 2 tower, so good amount of physical damage as well. And Brewmaster was also in fire stance, which means that he had extra critical damage. If he had either status resistance or if he had magic resistance, would give him enough time to get the split off.
Larson ends up dead. Terrorize on 2 with the Exorcism to get the Aegis out, but here's the Rolling Thunder. Ice Blast is flying over, but it's off the mark. But XM maybe getting dragged over to it. So he'll get clipped and he'll end up dead. It initially was off the mark, but they dragged him down in the fight, and that put him in line with the Ice Blast.
Pengler also, something we talked about during the draft, is that he needs to be careful getting the Rolling Thunder on top of that Prophet during the Exorcism. Your armor, even with Lotus Orb, is not that high, so you're still going to be receiving quite a lot of damage. We haven't seen Xtreme Gaming group up and go 5-man strong. Like this type of a lineup, if they are ahead, if they can't siege the enemy high ground, there's not much you can do about it. Brewmaster uses split, Exo, potentially zoning Wukong's command. If it comes down to that point, Xtreme Gaming always have the tool to siege the high ground without really like needing to take the fight. There's so much zoning tools and so many zoning tools and so much damage.
Couple of stacks to be taken here for Fly. They're smoked up on the side of Xtreme. But what we'll find is just old 11 for now, but he's able to swashbuckle for some distance. Ali, he's nearby, but the Wukong's is used, and the Fiend's Grip is there. They're going to get two. Old 11 and Ali both dying here for Yakult. The rotation from Ali, maybe trying to help with the song, but unable to do really much of anything in that sort of a way. And they're going to get a tier 2 bottom as well.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Ame, how's he doing? He's got this Radiance. He's going into the BKB. He did pick up those boots.
Tower is under attack.
Emo's looking for the Ags. Guess we'll see if they can pull it off. Ooh, finding the cold feet. And Pelosin will die to Fly.
Not too bad. Fly having a really good game on Shadow Fiend. He did die twice when they were making moves on Ame, but overall sitting on top of the net worth, and even Gaben thinks this game is pretty much anyone's to take. 53% in favor of Yakult Brothers.
Yeah, the last game was like that too. They had the 50-50. Smoke. Find XM. Ice Blast flies through. This is an easy kill. BKB even committed here. Sonic Wave flies in, lands onto the Shadow Realm Dark Willow, but the raises connect.
From Fly.
They continue to show they've got their strengths, especially with Ice Blast. And this is a very farmed Ancient Apparition behind the Dark Willow, who's actually picked up about 6,000 net worth.
They definitely need AA to be farmed, and I really like what he's going for, at least trying to, because they lack control, picking up that Hex, and I already mentioned the way that they won that fight against, won that game against Gaming Gladiators in an insanely entertaining match, the 90-minute match where he was hexing people. Already kind of prepping for it, because if they get a Hex on Brewmaster, he lands the ulti with some extra damage from Shadowfiend and Queen of Pain. They can definitely burst any target. In terms of saves, there is Bane with the grip, with the Nightmare. But other than that, these heroes are taking full damage. Like we've seen Ame multiple times. If he gets clipped by AA Blast, he's just straight up dead.
These heroes melt. It's the way to play AA. Some people think you need to hit the 5-man Ice Blast, but it's all about going for your main focus target.
If you, as an Ancient Apparition spammer, if you had to give one advice to all the new players, Benjamin, what would it be?
Don't be a hero. Just try to get your one target with Ice Blast. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need to be hitting those 5-mans.
Yeah,
if you're hitting a 5-man Ice Blast.
If I was starting to play a new game, don't be a hero. What am I supposed to do? Pick a champion instead? Fly? Requiem?
Arcane Ice Blast, that's all gonna land. XXS killed off before he could even split. They get the courier, they get the kill. This is near the tier 2 tower over mid, so they might be able to continue to push.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They will do so, at least for now. Nobody really a big stopper of this. Ag's almost finished for Queen of Pain. And I like this pickup next for Ancient Apparition. This is something I do. Radavitos into Hex.
It's a control that they definitely need. Brewmaster, you can see that he is relatively close to surviving, but needs a little bit of something. And some extra magic resistance needs to be brewed up. Fly. Seems like they want to take another tower. There's not going to be any defense from Xtreme Gaming.
I will say he doesn't have the shard on Ancient Apparition.
There is Tormentor available. They might go for
they just pinged
right
it,
now
yeah.
and try to grab it. They have relatively good. AA shard is really good. Naga Siren 1 is okay.
Meh.
Like it's a good increase.
They did ping it out, and they are going that way, so they should be picking it up in a moment. The rest of the side of Xtreme Gaming, they have smoked up. Let's see where they go to. They actually don't take this Torm. And they start to put the pressure on through mid. They are going to look for somebody.
Ooh, they got baited.
Ooh.
Nemo with the nice illusion, even popping the Exo.
Yeah, that is going to make them very vulnerable, and that's with Roche potentially up soon. XM goes towards the pit, hoping that this would be Roche up in a moment, but there is not going to be a Roche on there, and they're going to take the tier 1 top, but that is just not worth the exorcism in that situation. That leaves this team very vulnerable.
Roboka is solo pushing the top lane with the catapult wave as Ancient Apparition. This guy always onto something.
Just trying to get a little bit more push there, top.
Is that a quote from Joker? Sometimes all you need is a little bit of a push top. Maybe the top part was not in it, but
yeah, maybe not top, but a little extra
lane.
push, and then you push Lois off the top of the global, the daily bugle or whatever. Superman comes, save him.
Ame's in a good spot. Scouting things out.
Rest of the team behind, yeah, and this is a good spot for them to be in if they can get this Raptor work out perfectly. It's going to be tough. They do have mech, they have song. They don't have that shard yet on the Naga Siren.
Trying to buy a bit more time, seeing that Yakult brothers want to go for the push, knowing that Exo's down for another 35 seconds.
Don't really want to fight it into it. Shadow Fiend getting close to this Daedalus. He's now putting quite a bit of damage. Top of the net worth. Fly in a good spot. But they are pushing the tier 2 tower to no resistance coming through from Yakult. And Yakult, they're pushing a tier 1, not exactly an equivalent exchange. I'll go for the tier 2 now, but I've scanned that. Actually, that scan connected on Roche. And they're going to continue. Yeah, I mean, force him back. Maybe go for Roche yourself. If you're not, they're not in on the pit, so they're not taking Roche. This is all just plus benefits here for Yakult. And actually, they'll send XM in. Now he's got Exorcism. They'll commit. They'll commit to losing this tier 3 tower, but the Shadow Fiend doesn't commit to taking it.
Yeah, they lost the tier 2 tower in the top lane, so they took their outpost. They can still TP to the tier 2 mid, but it seems like they want to get this straight. They are not valuing the ages, instead going for tier 3 tower instead. Poloson gets the sleep off.
Blast. Ooh. I thought maybe that would swipe at least the kill on a Roche, but they got the Nightmare, and now they've got themselves the Wukong's Command. The Fiend's Grip's going to be following it up on a Fly, and this is a dead Shadow Fiend. He is just in too far. Song not able to save him.
Not sure what the plan was there. He gets slept. Like, he also did go for the high ground with the Facet on Bane. They pull him in, Wukong's Command. They get the grip. I'm not sure if Pango was not there, but he definitely needs to precast Lotus Orb on him if they want to go for this type of a play. Or get the Rolling Thunder, try to disrupt the backlines. Because this was definitely not worth it.
This is that point in the game where, yeah, the kills earlier don't really matter on Shadow Fiend, or the deaths earlier don't really matter.
When you have Shadow Fiend on your team.
But now he's at that point where these deaths are really important, because you're caught in a spot where now you have to recollect yourself, and it's kind of tough. You're pressured in a spot where it's not going to feel so comfortable. Emo. He's top. He's got 3,300 gold. How close is Bobica to this hex? He is still 1,800 gold away.
Oh,
So
some
time.
Monkey King. This is the build that he did go for the last time as well. Radiance.
You have to recollect yourself, and it's kind of tough. You're pressured in a spot where it's not going to feel so comfortable. Emo. He's top. He's got 3,300 gold. How close is Bobica to this hex? He is still 1,800 gold away.
Oh,
some time.
Monkey King. This is the build that he did go for the last time as well. Radiance. Picks up the shard, gets BKB of his own, then goes for Scotty, starts to scale, be more annoying, have that extra stats. So not playing to beat the damage dealer in the middle of a fight, going for the right
Ice
place.
Blast?
Brewmaster. Yeah, does have Aegis and gets the split off even.
Yeah, gets that split, puts Fly in a bit of a precarious position, but overall, he'll be fine-ish. Fiend's Grip, though, on old 11. He won't be. This is Wukong's committed in a kill out of the Pangolier.
They're in a lot of trouble. I know that this game says 1k gold lead for Xtreme Gaming, but unless Emo manages to get some like big shadow strikes in the middle of a fight, big sonic wave, this is a very difficult fight for them. If they group up with Exo, group up with Primal Split, and success as Manta style.
So it was looking really good for Yakult, but the mistake bottom is really looking like it's going to cost them. And Emo pops that BKB. They go to the Ice Blast once again. It does not clip onto XM. They look to get XXS, but they are deep in, and Emo is just gone. Song used, but to no avail, and XXS is going to survive that Ice Blast.
They're
Balance strike, Ollie.
Fly.
Oh boy.
Good
Fear connects. Oh, this is a problem for Ame for a second, but the Terrorize comes through, lands on the Fly. They might be able to get this kill with the Rolling Thunder behind him. Ame's going to end up dead. These heroes, they're doing exactly what happened to Yakult, where they've just gotten dragged in too far, and they will lose this Brewmaster.
Ooh, very, very good
pay the ultimate price.
Yakult Brothers, this Requiem from Fly, one of the best Requiems I've seen in a long time. And this is certified Shadow Fiend hater speaking right now, because even when he was paired up with Mars, heroes like this, where you have a big combo, a lot of the times this Requiem is used just to be able to, protect yourself or try to push them out, then you BKB TP out. But this one, even though it was defensive one, it was still doing a lot. It clipped Monkey King on top of the trees, and then he goes down, and suddenly Ame is just dead pretty much instantly. Emo playing way too aggressively. He was trying to, find the angle to get two-man Sonic Wave. It did clip XXS, but this blink was definitely not necessary. His BKB was also wearing off, but fighting into Exorcism is a bit way too much damage. He also doesn't have that much armor. He needs to start thinking about maybe getting the Shivas, and he caught him. This was pretty big.
Ame gets ripped up by the damage. The Rolling Thunder comes in, commits onto it. XXS losing that life as well, and Old 11's on the back line, killing off this Dark Will at the same time. They're going to have this Hex on the Ancient Apparition for the next fight.
Oh, they really messed up on Xtreme Gaming. This was supposed to be relatively easy fight, but seems like after seeing Queen of Pain dying, somebody made the call to make a go. And it really didn't pay off. Oh, look at this. He knows.
Requiem, there's that Hex, and there's that kill on
where's
Ame.
the tip? Where's the tip? Somebody needs to tip him. Rest of the team, they know. They know how good of a play this was.
This is a full minute without this Monkey King. This is tough.
This is what they needed in the previous siege. Throw this Lotus Orb on Shadow Fiend. Have Rolling Thunder ready immediately if he gets gripped. Cast another one. Guardian Greaves is ready.
Ice Blast
he
flying
found the
out.
opening.
Fiend's just dead immediately. Rolling Thunder connects. They just need to keep the control to XXS, and they do. He is dead, no buyback. Buyback
Suddenly,
committed.
This game
By the Bane, though.
definitely flipped. Except
BKB.
running with Exo.
Song
Lifeline, standing
used.
his ground.
He needs to be careful, though.
see
This
him.
exorcism. Oh, God, he's just far enough away. They're looking for the Shadow Realm strike.
It doesn't
Bramble
connect.
Maze, they
in
don't
between.
get him. Oh.
Man, Fly playing out of his freaking mind right now. Whew. This is massive, and he's about to finish off Satanic. So if he gets the Satanic off with the BKB, it's a lot of survivability. Death Prophet's damage is nuts. You can see why this hero is becoming more popular, because she's pretty much single-handedly trying to carry the fights. It's just the rest of the team, they're not there. There was no grip. There was no Monkey King, because he was dead for a long time. But Ame has in his quick buy. This is the most hybrid build I've ever seen on Monkey King.
Well, Ghost Scepter action.
Never thought I see the day where you buy a Ghost Scepter on Monkey King. Okay, Ame's not gonna give us that.
Well, he made you think about it, at least for a moment. Push is potentially in 1:06. That Hex already paying off big dividends, by the way, for Bobica in that kill on Ame.
I think this is a great example of how a certain item can pretty much win you the game. If he goes for Glimmer Cape or something like that where he doesn't scale, this one gets delayed by quite much. Or if he builds something different, if he picks up the shard of his own rather than going for Hex, doesn't have enough gold. So itemization in Dota, like one of the key things to understand, unless you're playing some of the heroes which are easier to itemize. For example, heroes like Ursa, where there's not much deviation from the current build with Battle Fury, Blink, BKB, then you start to think about
XM might be in trouble here if they can land this Hex. Throws the silence out. And it's actually now Bobica the one who might end up dying, but he gets that Gale Guard off. It's not going to be enough to save him. The big right click in from Fly, but there's the Wukong's command. They've got the silence to go to the song. Fly, stunned, Boundless Strike, Song, Fiend's Grip, Lotus. But they need to be able to try and save him, and they won't be able to do so. And now they need to leave on the side of Yakult. They will find themselves a +1 in Old 11. And that all starts with that kill on to the Ancient Apparition.
They had the Observer Ward in the river this whole time, placed by Polison plus the Sentry Ward, so they did see them first, which did allow them to get the first jump. Killing Bobica immediately, he didn't get the Ice Blast off, which is a pretty big deal. That's one way to kill Death Prophet. And again, Death Prophet carrying the fight. 5,000 damage in the previous, 5,000 damage in this one as well.
Now it gives Ame more time to farm, get himself into a Daedalus. And it does kind of line up with the potential of Roche, and there it is. So Roche available. Ice Blast is going to spot that this is up. Emo needs to think about bailing on this. He pops this BKB. The Sonic Wave even gets thrown away, and still 30 seconds, no Shadow Fiend. I think that this might have to be Yakult conceding this.
Nice sidestep from Dark Willow. Jinkyu would definitely die there. It's Sonic Wave clipped him. 650 damage.
Five seconds. Maybe Shadow Fiend gets in. Maybe they have a chance to go for this, but there's the Wukongs.
They do not want to risk it.
They're not going. And this time it'll be Ame who picks up the Aegis, not XXS. Fly looking for a Silver Edge. He's done the most damage on his team. Second is Quap, like you said, needs that Shiva's Guard. Has 5,000 gold.
Yeah, for now, just keeping the buyback probably. Might need to commit, actually, if they want to be taking the fights. They need that health reduction. Or health restoration reduction.
Step up. Balance strikes there. Bobica again in such a vulnerable spot. He throws in an Ice Blast that clips Ame. I don't know if it's really going to matter in killing Ame. They did get the kill there onto Pelosin, so there is no Fiend's Grip, and Old 11's able to Rolling Thunder away. But XXS is still in the chase with his Pandas. He is not going to send the Brewlings to die. They do get this Bane, and that means no Fiend's Grip, which is a big chunk of the fight to hold Fly still.
If they can get some of these pickoffs delayed, the high ground push with Aegis, that could be pretty big. Monkey's getting closer to his level 25, about to crack level 24. This is pretty big. Like I talked about them going for the high ground. If you are going to be sieging with Dead Prophet ulti, let's say she has Exorcism Spirits on level 25, Brewmaster gets the split. If he gets his 25, this is where the game becomes super difficult because you can't really commit to these things. You can't just be jumping into the massive Wukong's command and Dead Prophet ulti. So they need to find a way how to not allow them to get to that point. Shadowfin did get level 25 in the previous one, so Shadow applies attack damage, which is very good. It's like you are mixed damage. Sometimes using Shadow Raises might be a bit of a lackluster considering all the attack speed that you have, so your right-click damage is still a lot. But if, let's say, you're using a Requiem, you could still like triple raise them, and you're still going to be dealing quite a lot of damage with the right-clicks on top of that.
Primal split to start. Ame look for Wukong's. BKB's gonna be popped. And again, Bobica caught on the edge. But Sonic Wave, and now Wukong's is done. BKB popped by Ame. They've got the Rolling Thunder under the backlines. They're trying to get the control into Pelosin. They get the kill there under the Bane. Ice Blast flying through. Lands onto 2. It's on the backlines when they go for Ame. So XXS and Jinkyu, can they commit with the Ice Blast still on them? They look for the Requiem, but the timing is not right. Fly. Oh boy. Wukong's comes out again. They go and find the song. Ollie will stun them up. Cold feet. Now XM in some trouble. The shield crash on a 2. He's ethereal. He's hexed up. They get the kill. They'll take him the Death Prophet. They blink in, wanting more, trying to stop this TP, but are unable to do so. And XXS TP's away.
Ooh, Shadowfin manages to run away. At one point, Dead Prophet with extra running, all of these ghosts, Shiva's Guard, Aghanim Scepter. It does feel, again, she's just doing so much damage, and Shadowfin felt threatened, does get away with the Silver Edge. We've said it multiple times that invisibility is invincibility at the later stages of the game, where one of your supports die, let's say he's holding the gem, Brewmaster was not close by, and then suddenly you don't have enough. Like, you definitely don't have a slot to have it on Dead Prophet. Maybe you do, considering that she has 2 pair of boots. Power Treads and Boots of Travel, so maybe someone can pick up the gem and give it to her.
I did buy a gem on the Bane.
It's Brewmaster who's holding it now.
Hex through, in trouble.
Aeon Disc assembled.
Aeon Disc, yeah, that was locked previously. They'll throw the Sun to Fly. Force Death, Balance Strike. Bobica's going to be dead. And they got the kill on Emo. Again, a really bad fight here from Yakult, where Fly's kind of caught in a terrible position.
He's in
Shadow Realm Strike, and he is in the Wukong's. Pops that BKB, but the Fiend's Grip comes in, and that will be a kill onto the Shadow Fiend.
No buyback.
Emo and Bobica all dead, no buyback available for them. They're all short the gold.
Usually it is Emo who kills himself. This is where he decides to die, and Jinkyu is even gonna tip him. So I assume he died to Dark Willow, or not sure what happened because I was watching a different fight where they initiate on the Brewmaster. I guess they were also not aware of Aeon Disc, not aware that he also has OD staff. So there's a lot of things that can... Oh, what did he take the damage from? Succubus? Ooh, interesting.
Really
this
interesting, old 11. He's dead with buyback. They are gonna song here, but they've got the glyph. They'll have a secondary glyph once they lose the melee rats.
This is the point, the timing that I was talking about. Level 25 on all 3 cores on Xtreme Gaming. This is where it gets super difficult. Brewmaster is going to be using the split XO, extra 8 spirits on top of that.
Barracks are under attack.
Pause from Obica.
0
Yeah,
HP.
so
Queen of Pain did respawn.
Queen of Pain Succubus, I think... I want to say it bugs. I mean, he took 3,000 damage to
himself.
Succubus. Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Well, that's
where the fight ends up getting lost because, I mean, he's dead immediately. It's always us, Lacoste. I swear to God, it's always us. Last year, it was the Marana bug for me. We had the Doom buyback bug with you at Wallachia, and now we're here with a Succubus bug.
So it might be you. I was not part of that first Marana bug you were talking about.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, this is that case of we and me.
All right. Can we get the clip of what happened to Queen of Pain in the previous fight? Because I didn't see the grip. That's why I was surprised. What did she die to? Just want to see, like, what happened. Because he had BKB available. And we'll get shortly onto that. Maybe there's some interaction between Succubus. He also has Pyrrhic Cloak, so maybe there's something to it as well. And Emo at 1 HP. Cannot regen, apparently.
No. Apparently can't regen. This is why they don't let me near any important things, because I always tend to touch and give bugs into the games. This is...
I swear, you have this aura in real life. Like, if something's going to go bad, it's when you are around.
Yep.
You're going to somehow make it worse.
Yeah, that usually is the case. I mean, if I'm Yakult... I mean, this is a huge bug in that last fight, if that's what happened.
If he died straight away without using any of the abilities, that fight could have been different. But,
That is kind of crazy. I didn't really see it. I mean, you said it. You didn't see how the Queen of Pain died. I didn't really see how he died either. And it said he took the damage from Succubus. So all sources of spell lifesteal also apply to pure damage. Queen of Pain gains spell lifesteal that increases with proximity to her enemies. Lifesteal is at a maximum when the enemy is 300 units or closer. But here's the replay. Emo... How does he die here?
What does he have? He has Curse Crown on him, uses Sonic Wave, and then just dies.
Just dies using Sonic Wave.
Can we play it
again,
again,
which is pure
please?
damage. So instead of the life steal that he was supposed to get from the Sonic Wave, he ended up
dealing damage
his own
to
life?
himself. Yeah, it does feel
so he
like
killed
it.
himself with Sonic Wave. I mean, this is what happens in Pokemon when you confuse them. They kill themselves in their confusion.
I'm a little surprised that they didn't pause the game
then. I guess they didn't realize it then.
I mean, Emo could have noticed that something's wrong, that his hero just disappeared.
Dead immediately. Looking at it. Well, he was pinging out his death summary. He was pinging out the death summary that he had, and it was all nobody did damage to him. He didn't get touched by anybody for real numbers.
120 damage and 112
I mean, that's enough for a kill in my book. We round up in this household. 112 damage is at least 3,000.
I'm just wondering what the interaction is. What's on the Brewmaster? Because he used Sonic
'cause he
Wave on
doesn't-
Brewmaster.
He doesn't have.
Maybe OD staff, maybe interaction with Aeon Disc. I'm just wondering what could it
He
cause.
doesn't have blade mail
what
or
could
anything
cause it?
reflecting
no,
it.
but he does have also Pyrrhic Cloak, which could be the cause of it. Somebody, Dota detectives in the Twitch chat, maybe go to demo mode and try to test it out what actually happened. Interaction between these items.
For the next 6 seconds, 75% of the damage taken by the caster is reflected to the target unit as physical damage. But, We're trying to be detectives here. We're trying to be the Hardy Boys. I don't know if you read those books.
No, I haven't.
Encyclopedia Brown. That was also another detective book. We could be Inspector Gadget. I don't know if you know that one. I can continue to name detectives.
You know what would be? It's also emo. Something. I mean, if we go back to Singapore Major, emo with the question mark. This was also the perfect time for emo to throw the question mark in the old chat. Be like, what the hell happened there? Emo is one of the biggest Giga Chads in Dota. If we start thinking about his itemization on Storm Spirit with the Blink Dagger, Ember Spirit with multiple Divine Rapiers, like starting at 25 minutes in, maybe this guy can win the game of Dota with having his HP set to 1.
I don't know about that one. That's a stretch. That's a big stretch. I don't know where you. If to only make it fair, you'd have to. I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to give scenarios. Not my job. Not my job to give scenarios on where it would be reset to. I only see the bugs in TI qualifiers. This is now 2 consecutive TI qualifiers in which I am involved in a long pause bug.
Yeah,
I think they need to stop inviting me.
Emo didn't purchase DLC with no bugs for $3.99. I'm not sure how this one is gonna get fixed because it did have a massive impact on what did happen in that previous fight because he just straight up died. Like they lacking a hero that deals 3,000 to 5,000 damage in every single fight, having that burst damage as well.
Can we see that kill again? Just the emo death? I want to see what his HP regen turns into. But maybe we'll see. Emo, he has 1 health. I'm wondering if maybe like his HP regen turns into negative or something like that while the Sonic Wave is going out. I wasn't paying attention to that.
Emo. What was his nickname before, Benjamin? Half. Yeah.
Yes.
Not even half HP. His new nickname is going to be 1.
You want to
I'm
know
sure
what
there's
was
going
good
to be a
about
new
that?
Chinese meme that's going to come out
about this one?
Yeah.
You know what was really the hidden greatness about that half nickname was that H and A were capital, L and F were lowercase, so half the name was capitalized. And then I found $20, so let's make this story more interesting. I didn't hear any response.
I was reading something. Yeah, it was a cool, very cool story that half of the letters were capital.
Okay. All right. Let me use my Google Lens. Don't we have the replay again? I want to look at this HP regen just in case. So he's at plus 20. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious at all aspects of this. So Sonic Wave. Now? No. All right. So it's not that. Curious to see if we can figure this out, but we're going to take ourselves a little bit of a break to figure out the outcome of all this. So we're going to send you guys quickly to a break. Maybe not as quickly as Emo died, but it'll be a break of some duration, and we'll see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It is the state of the game. 30-21. Yakult back and ready to go. And we'll see how this one ends. Still game 2. The series is 1-0 for Yakult at the moment. And so we started back up at 42.05, but Brewmaster's got that Aeon disc ready to unlock. Roche is back alive.
Yeah, there's a bug with Queen of Pain with her Masochist facet and status resistance. Apparently, status resistance needs to be higher than
Might be a fight.
And there's the fight.
Gotta be careful for that Aeon disc, but the primal split gets used. This time, not Sonic waving into a death, but they go to the Song and the Exorcism committed here. They're trying to get themselves Roshan. And they'll TP away and concede Roche.
All right, one Aeon disc down. A few more to go. Yeah, because Aeon disc gives you strong dispel when you drop down below 70% HP, and it gives you 75 status resistance. But he also has Titanic, which gives him extra 15 status resistance on top of that. So with some testing done, it seems like you need to be higher, like your status resistance need to be higher than a certain number. Tested it out with Bulldoze, SNY, Aeon Disc on Spirit Breaker. Same thing pretty much for any other hero with Aeon Disc, and seems like Queen of Pain is dealing the damage, not dealing the damage with Sonic Wave. And because of the Masochist and Succubus, she is not dealing any damage, but she is receiving the full damage. So Monkey King is now level 25. Oh, I see. Monkey King is 25, but doesn't seem to have talent. Might have been also a visual bug. We'll see how big the Wukong is going to be, considering that monkeys, they always take left talent.
We'll see if it ends up... if they do have the talent or not. They pause, probably wondering if it exists or not. So I guess that's the question on everybody's mind at the moment. Death Prophet level 24, so not falling into that issue. Look at that. Well, golden rainbow.
Yeah, never seen that animation. It looks like Grim the Reaper. Looks like Necrophos from this angle. Or Big
XM.
Banana. Like it's
XM said go, so I don't know if maybe they're not worried. Maybe they're going to check if Monkey King gets level 26, if that makes the difference. Things get weird when you bring games back from the dead. Or, well, not the dead, but you revive what was an interesting situation. So now he is level 26, so he did take the additional Wukong's command ring anyway. I think they figured it's okay, it's fine. The thing is now, there was a fight at 41 minutes in which they had the Aegis on Ame that they lost. So now Roche was taken again, and the Aegis is now in the hands of the Monkey King, who now has a disperser. Trying to figure out where it's all at.
It is a lot. Like this AC on Brewmaster as well. He's level 23 yet. We talked about the importance of them getting to level 25. That Prophet did reach 25, so extra 8 Exorcism Spirits. Sieging the high ground, she also has Refresher. She is buying into Refresher as well, sitting at almost 5,000 gold. Brewmaster wants to get one as well. Sieging the high ground is going to be very, very easy for Xtreme Gaming. The Cold Bros, they might need to get some kind of a pick-off. Because if they have them grouped around in front of their base, I don't think they can win that fight, or they can stop them from taking the racks.
Fighting an Exorcism is a bit dangerous. This is exactly where the fight happened last time at 41 minutes and the first time around in this. The Wukong's command extra circle doing some decent damage on the Fly, and that will be at least the tier 3 tower down. Fly just kind of standing still, but the Wukong's in. The Ice Blast is there. They should be able to at least get the first life out of the hands of Ame. Fly
has
that
no
satanic,
BKB
so he's back
refresher.
to full health.
Take it down, 3 seconds.
Fiend's Grip onto the
clip.
Pangolier. They've got the Hex. The Terrorize lands, but is it going to be enough to save Ame? Oh, the right click from Fly gets the kill. Now Ame no buyback. They've got the song. They're into the XO, but can they get these kills here? A lot of damage on the old 11 very quickly gets the Lotus Orb off, but the cheese eaten, and they've got the stun. The Cold Feet procs over, and they'll get the kill on XM. He's dead. Radamatos from quite a distance away as Pelosin throws the Nightmare onto the Naga Siren. They've got another Ice Blast, but that won't
almost
hit.
clipped him. Tumbler's Toy, unleash Tumbler's Toy, extra 30%
with the
jump.
net. Get the control on the Bane. Pelosin hit with that Dagon. Emo now has to check all status resistance before doing anything.
Yeah, Emo doesn't want to use Sonic Wave. If he sees Brewmaster, definitely not going to use it on him.
Has he not used it yet since we've restarted? That's the real question.
They managed to kill Tier 3 Tower, but barracks have been saved. They are going to region up, and this is also a refresher that Ame popped. Did use his BKB. Doesn't have buyback available for 30 seconds. Buyback is available on DP. XM might need to use it. Brambles, he's starting to place them down. Doesn't have level 20 talent. No extra or minus 7 seconds on those Brambles. XXS.
Ice Blast hits. Onto the Dark Willow. Jumping in, taking out one Brewing. Looking to even up the score here. They took a tower a second ago. We take a tower now. Even though they've already got the bottom tier 3 tower gone. Swift comes through right as they're about to kill the melee rats. Let's see what they can get. Sonic Wave used. Everybody's got their life.
Lotus Orb, he slept himself.
Ice Blast
11 is
flying in. That's going to cut across on Pelosi. That's going to land onto XXS. Ame with the balance strike, but the BKB's been popped by Emo. And now they head towards top, where Fly will clean a creep wave real quick and start to hit some damage here onto the tier 3 in the top lane. XSS still dealing with that frostbitten status for a moment, as it had that extra 4 seconds from the talent on the Ancient Apparition.
That's their last
strike. Brambles, Lotus.
It's
First
a
crown
lot of
pops,
Brambles.
and there's a lot of Brambles around him. Can't make
this is
any
like
sudden
Tusk
movements.
ice shards, and he's inside of it. Bane has buyback available. Fiend's Rip is ready. Fly. Let's Satanic.
Sonic Wave available again. Gotta be careful. Curse Crown, the Brambles. That catches Fly once more. Top set of racks, Primal Split, Boundless Strike used as Emo standing his ground, but still maybe a little bit gun shy on that Sonic Wave. No. Back up for a second. Fly
Waiting for Rolling
very
Thunder
far back.
to come off cooldown. All the green lights are ready.
Amplified damage to pick up.
Boboka, his AoEs are insane. He has Glippity Gloppity, and he has the Zone Bloodright.
But okay. Looking to take the high ground.
Dispelling that amplified damage immediately.
Fly pretty far forward.
Force into
Force
force
back
staff.
and forth.
Back and forth. Yeah, there he goes.
Exo going to be committed. They go to the Sonic Wave. They've got the sweep. The balance strike. The Fiend's Grip lands on a Boboka, but he's going to be taken out of that one as they've got the song onto 5 heroes. But what can they set up with it? Ice Blast flies in, but doesn't really connect. Boboka's dead. The Wukong's is off. They'll try to get a kill on a Fly. He'll force staff out of this circle, but look for the Requiem. The balance strike stops that. Fly is dead. They start to retreat. They'll TP out. They have buybacks available.
Fighting inside Wukong's command and Exorcism is very, very difficult. If they get caught, if they get caught out of position, it's going to be very difficult. Rolling Thunder and also Sleep have been used at the same time, so a little bit of a misused abilities. And finally, we're seeing some big damage numbers coming out from Ame.
$16,000 net worth lead, but Shadow Fiend, he's got buyback, so does Ancient Apparition. So if they force in, they'll have the buyback ready to go. See if anybody makes the move. They'll jump. They'll split their root. And there's the Lotus. Emo reflecting with that Lotus Orb. Blinking Sphere picked up for Ollie. This bottom set of racks are gone. They don't force the buyback out from Fly. They don't get that buyback out from the Pangolier or anybody or Bobica either. Spursor now picked up for Fly too.
Removing the power treads wants to have some way of dispelling things. There are some annoying things, but again, if you dispel Curse Crown, he has Aghanim Shard, so it's still gonna trigger. But also it's an insane amount of damage. We've seen yesterday Medusa, when she picked up Disperser, how effective it was.
Yes. I mean, the Medusa, that was just a 1v situation that Medusa felt unkillable on. Disperser was some of that reason as well. They're nearby looking for this fight, but Emo's not in the vicinity at the moment. Can't really take this fight 4v5 at all.
Emo's sitting at 7,000 gold, has casual Kaya, didn't upgrade that one. Maybe thinking what he wants to buy next. Doesn't have upgraded boots as well.
Roche up. Pop finally starting to come over, and 8,000 gold. We'll see what it's spent on, like you said, holding on to a lot of it. Ame picked up that Disperser most recently, also looking for the Refresher Orb.
Haste Rune. Might be a bait. XM. Not gonna fall for it.
Nemo's got this Haste Rune. Who can they find? They need to start with a pick off here for Yakult. They were up 21,000 net worth for a moment. The bottom set of racks were taken in a fight that ended up going the way of Xtreme Gaming with the kill on a Fly, cutting into that net worth lead. And Fly, he's a little bit away from the rest of the team.
The only one who doesn't have buyback is Baboka. He did invest into Ether Lens. Interesting. Wants to have extra bit of a cast range. Wants to keep the distance. Gleipnir, Sight of Wise, Force Staff as well. Both teams holding the hands together. They know that these fights are going to be very important. Bobica will need to be careful. He cannot die. They need Ice Blast to land and probably
Emo
needs to
to be
survive for
careful.
another fight. Emo is playing a dangerous game.
They force out his BKB. He Sonic Waves. Still has health. And we'll work on these Brewlings to clean them up. There is a Storm Brewing nearby, but with that, they're going to make their way towards the Roche Pit top, and they'll smoke up on the side of Yakult's brothers.
Radiant are scattered.
Can they find anything? XXS is standing forward. XM there too. They actually get the scan. They know they're up on that high ground. They're not the ones making the move towards Roche blindly. They could have been tricked. I mean, the scan is well placed.
They see Bane's courier is flying. They know exactly where they are. It's just flying back for the moment.
But instead,
inside the Roche pit. This is a dangerous move, but I kind of like it.
This Obs is just out of the range of the sentry, so they know when they're going to be coming over. They
didn't kill Roshan last time. Roshan's roar, they're not going to hear it, but the scan will connect.
Ice Blast. That's going to come across onto this Death Prophet. It actually lands on the Brewmaster. Terrorize lands, hits Ali. He's going to be hit with the Balance Strike, and now he's got this Lotus. They pop the Exorcism. They go to the Song. Exo, though, XM, kind of far away. They've got this Wukong's in the pit, but they're not going for Roche. They're going to jump out of the circle. They've got Exo going. The Bramble Maze placed down around Emo, but it's not going to connect on anything. Ice Blast off cooldown in 10 seconds, but Roche has been pulled out of the pit.
This is the most important spell. Have Ice Blast on one of the targets. Try to kill it. Wukong's command, XXS. He does have a refresher. Can he get it off?
Sonic Wave throws off.
Staff.
That lands on a Pelosi, and they go to the Primal Split. And now they've got themselves the Cursed Crown that'll pop on Old 11, who's in the Rolling Thunder, but now he comes out of it, and he's into the Brambles. Lotus placed on a Fly as he stands his ground. They go to the Exorcism with the Ags now placed into the inventory, but there's the Ice Blast flying in. Fly needs to heal. He needs to find something. He starts to heal up,
healing
but
for now.
in.
Shadowblade.
BKB, Ame looking for Fly needs one more shot,
him.
Gets it. They kill off Fly, but they'll end up losing XM. They'll buy back on the Queen of Pain. Emo buying back, but Old 11, he's going to die too. They'll try to get Ame, but with the Balance Strike takes out Boba, who does not have buyback. Emo, Sonic Wave, Ame low, but still not dead. Fly finally committing to the buyback, but they've already let Emo die.
Oh, they're committing heavily with the buybacks. Shadow Fiend, he does not have it. He tried to square up against Monkey King. I want to see damage from Monkey in the previous fight. I'm not sure if that works or not, but he was just standing there, squaring up against pretty much 3 heroes and still managed to live long enough. This was such a clutch OD staff from Brewmaster so that he doesn't get clipped. And there it is, 8,000 damage coming up from him and 8,000 damage from Queen of Pain. But OD staff saving XXS, allowing him to get the split off. This is the budget version of Aeon Disc that doesn't mess with Queen of Pain's HP.
Bane's going to have Ags flying in. Wukong's, this should secure at least the top tier 3, if not the racks as well. No Queen of Pain for a minute.
Somebody needs to finish off those barracks. Off to the mid lane. Playing against Mega Creeps against this type of a lineup is very difficult. Refresher Shard available on Ame. Let's see if he uses it. He wants to close out the game. 50 seconds. No Queen of Pain.
Refresher Shard. There it is. Boundless Strike. Ice Blast flying in. Lands on Ame, but he's got this Aegis. He's standing in the Wukong's. Fly's got to do something about him, but he throws out these right clicks. They go to the Exorcism. They're trying to get the kill on Ame. They shatter him. So they lose the Wukongs. Now they've got the Hex coming in from Bobica, but they need another Ice Blast Balance Strike. I think Ame was expecting to maybe jump onto the other side with that with the Shard because he Balance Struck away from the rest of the team. But they get the kill on Old 11. He's going to be dead for 2 minutes. They've got Emo back in 20 seconds. Fiend's Grip's here with the Ags, but they've got the Song.
Can
Song
they hold?
Holding on. Fly's
hold. That's his name. This is his like specialty hero as well that he likes to play. He has a bunch of those. Like I know Legion Commander's not a hero. Batrider's not really played from the off lane. He's very good Mars, very good Centaur. Bristleback is definitely up there. And let's see what he's going to be able to achieve in this one. Carry Doom, pretty much standard stuff for Ame. Going for 1 casual Bracer, Phase Boots into Hand of Midas into Radiance. That seems to be the build that everybody from the carry role has been enjoying it.
See how game 3 goes. Winner of this one goes to the grand finals tomorrow. 1 game to decide it all. Maybe it could have just been BO1s the entire time.
30 seconds to battle.
That's bad ideas brought to you by me.
Oh, you had a bunch of those. Don't worry, there's more to come. Looking forward to them.
Yeah, I'm never out of bad ideas. Emo on this Monkey King. Curious to see how he'll play it. Not the normal spirit heroes or quap that we've been seeing from him. Nobody dying, 2 bounty runes apiece. Game 1 was a bloodbath in the beginning. Game 2 is kind of a bloodbath too, in 2 parts. See if we see that kind of aggression this time around. I'm interested to see how Old 11 plays differently from Game 2 to Game 3, because he needs to be just a little bit better in viability.
Maybe 1 item to scale. This is a very good Mage Slayer game if he wants to go for it. You're playing against Bristleback, Doom, Void Spirit, both supports. Everything is magical, so reducing that damage could be pretty big if they want to go for it. And then you can start thinking about maybe Lotus Orb again. You're playing against a lot of things that can be dispelled. You can throw it on your carry, precast it. You're playing against Doom 1 more time. I think this game is going to be a bit more on the slower side, seeing that both carries need good amount of time. Ame has been shut down on Doom in the previous game, or at start of the series in the first game.
It was also he got the win, but it wasn't the cleanest Doom game in the previous time that he played it before game number 1. So I think that was yesterday. Emo mid though, 4-2. To 3-1 of XM early on. Nothing really to write home about. Picks himself up that Orb of Frost and just whacking away at XM, trying to push him into a bit more of an uncomfortable position in the game. Up to this point, he pops that Jingu and has that Boundless Strike. That's how he'll sustain, as he's going to be picking up a Wraith Band. He'll be going into the Wand afterwards from what he's got queued up. The top lane, Old 11 in some trouble, but Ame's got the Shadow Word. The Swashbuckle comes through. They needed 1 more right click to get the kill, but they weren't there in time, so he ends up actually surviving. They want to keep Ame near, but Bobica, he's got an Ether Shock, and he's only level 1, so he doesn't have anything else to give.
They can't play aggressively. Huge wave is approaching the tower. Old 11 this time around does have double jump facet, which is going to be a lot more tankier, which will make him tankier, seeing that he needs to be more survivable. Even though the other facet is better for the game, this one is definitely better for the lane. And another Fatal Bonds in the top lane. Old 11, another shared tango. It is very annoying to deal with these imps. Damage on the grounds from Scorched Earth, Infernal Blade. They need to stabilize, might even need to run back, but for now, it's just going to be a healing salve on Old 11.
They'd gotten that kill on Ame and gotten first blood in this lane. Things could have felt way better, but he'll salve. He'll be back up to full health. He is level 3 before either of these heroes on the side of Xtreme. Bobica now, with that level 2, he does have a level in the Shackle. They have options if they want to try and catch somebody a little bit too far out in the lane. Bottom lane, though, Fly just doing his thing, continuing to stand there. He is 11-2. Doing well, at least for the time being. Oracle definitely gets a lot stronger come level 3.
They managed to survive through the hardest part of the laning stage. Emo in the mid lane. Looking at the CS, Void Spirit's not doing too bad considering what he's playing into, sitting at 11-4. Of course, this is a Monkey favorite matchup, but he still managed to get some good amount of damage onto Emo. But again, this is Monkey King, so a couple of right clicks and he will go back to almost full HP, immediately starts running him down.
Just using that balance to get that Jingu to pop out and then heal off that. So stays at least about half health up to this point. Wraith Band picks up boots. Top lane again, close, and it's gonna be Shackle, but there's the Infernal Blade shield crash as Old 11, he's got Swashbuckle, but doesn't choose to use it onto this Warlock, as I believe he wasn't gonna get that kill with the Shadow Word already used.
Not enough damage. They do have Blightstone, or Orb of Blight called nowadays, which works really well with Pango. Bobica has good amount of right clicks sitting at 80 damage, so if they can maybe isolate one of these heroes. But again, it is a lot of healing. They're also having Healing Salve. Healing Lotus. Poloson needs a little bit more mana. And as we expected, this game is a bit on the slower side. Bristleback also needs a little bit more time. Jinkyu is trying to stack the triangle. Focuses on trying to because he failed to do so.
Unfortunate. XXS. Going into a Vanguard, no surprise. Mid lane. Pulling this creep wave all the way away. But now, all of a sudden, Aether Remnant. Emo. Thought maybe they can continue to go. I mean, the Aether Remnant stopped them in their tracks, but overall, Emo might have been able to throw a Boundless Strike that allowed Bobica to stand forward and get himself the shackle. Bottom lane, there wasn't a lot of mana left on the Fly, but he seems pretty confident at the moment. He's got that early wand. Anytime there's some quills, he'll get himself some extra charges, and that should make him pretty stable enough to survive at the moment.
First power rune, it's gonna be bottom. Emo picks up the shield rune, extra almost 500 HP on him. Bobica making the move.
Finds a courier now, maybe finds XM. Ooh. They've got the shackle, but the resonant pulse is already used. Able to assimilate, just don't have the initial control, but maybe they have it afterwards. They've got the Fortune's End, they'll get the kill. Ollie getting credit for that one. There was some fatal bonds, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. They might even die for more.
They're glyphing.
They've glyphed both sides, and now Shadow Shaman, Blood Grenade. Oh, I don't think it landed.
And he got the healing salve as well. So.
Yeah, so he's still here.
No mana, however, but manages to survive. That's what's important. And it also relieves some of the pressure for the side lanes. Medusa was getting pressured in terms of how much mana she did have. She brought one clarity, and also Pango is the hero from the off lane that he needs levels. So getting him closer to level 6 is going to make a lot of difference. Allows him to play much more aggressive. Ame making a move onto the enemy carry. Level 4 carry Doom does have mana burn, so that might come in handy. Let's see if they're going to be able to find a kill here. He's only level 4 though.
Has 2 Lotuses, though. He's got a lot of life to work with, a lot of resources.
He's going back one to go through the twin gates, but now he found the opportunity. Fly.
4 heroes
Gets
are
his
here.
mana burn.
Fly in a lot of trouble. Not much seems like it's going to save him, but I say that, and he's able to get some distance. Bramble Maze was placed down. Old 11 came through the twin gate. He had that Rolling Thunder, and that backs him off from getting this kill onto Fly.
This reminds me of the game yesterday when Ame was playing Doom. When he was playing Drow Ranger, and he didn't have a lane to go to. Centaur killed him level 1 solo, and his game was kind of ruined, so he was roaming around the mid lane trying to make something happen. They did end up winning that game, but he did not have much farming. Now he's back to the top lane, level 5, 8 minutes into the game. Would definitely love to have some extra levels. Have that Doom available. Both supports trying to make a move. No Rolling Thunder, but seeing the Doom is level 5, maybe they can grab a kill.
They can find Ame. They have. Gets that Scorched Earth off, but they've got the shackles. Not sure they'll have the damage on this one initially, but they're staying persistent. They're trying to. Ollie's actually the one who's in a little bit of trouble, and so is Bobica. They'll bring over Emo, but Ame surviving for the moment. Chaotic Offering now with Pelosi level 6. Down goes Old 11. And this is a big turnaround. Pelosi's in trouble. XM is here. The Astral Step. However, their focus is on to Ollie, where the Bramble Maze connects with him. The Resonant Pulse gets the kill. And Emo now on the run. Shadow Word ends up falling off. And now Emo able to jump into the trees and get some distance between him and the side of Xtreme Game.
Ooh, changing of the guard. Making the difference there. Allowing him to live multiple times. Ame is level 6 now, so Emo will need to be careful. If he jumps in, gets doomed, will definitely die.
Big creep
Also,
wave
Warlock,
coming in.
he did have a couple of assists. Before that, did eat or read Black Grimoire book and drop that rock.
Small amount of charges, just the spark notes of the Black Grimoire. Fly dead to XXS alone. And now they've got the Brambles. Emo, he's got to be careful. They've got Ame, who's got the Doom. And this is a dead Unkykin. There's nowhere for him to go under this tower.
I think Ame wanted to get the kill, but XXS said, no, not today. Ame is very good at collecting lotuses. He collected, I believe, 3 of them already. Did eat 2 of those in the previous engagement and also had a big magic stick. Got healed by Warlock, which did allow him to survive that engagement. And he is also naturally tanky as a hero. He gets 3.8 strength per level.
I wonder if... It's early, but wondering if Yakult may be feeling a little bit of burnout on this after that second game. Because they were very close to locking into the grand finals.
They were, but Xtreme Gaming, they kind of had that game in the bag. Just needed to have one good defense. Polizone, he's going to die here.
Shadow Word will make it take a little bit longer. But he's dead.
Hold 11. This time, I really like that he's going for a scaling item. I did mention maybe Mage Slayer. Diffusal Blade is also a more standard item. The reason why I like Mage Slayer from the offlane Pango is you're playing against pretty much every single magic damage that there is. Plus, also, you're playing into Bristleback, so Cold Spray is not going to be doing as much.
Speaking of the Bristle, though, he is 2,000 gold ahead of anybody else.
Replicating what he did in game number 1 as Axe.
The only difference is that Axe feels like it falls off a little bit harder than Bristle will. Primal Spring. Fatal Bond's Chaotic Offer. Polizone right there with it. False Promise, Rolling Thunder, all coming through, but XXS is surviving it all. Steps out of the circle. They've got the Bedlam. They'll get a kill here on a Bobica. They'll take out the Shadow Shaman, but the Purifying Flames from Ali at least gets a trade.
They got something out of it. Getting the rock as well. It's, yeah, 2-minute cooldown now. Monkey King and Oracle, this is most likely going to be the combo that they're going to be using the False Promise where he gets the Wukongs, he then gets a Boundless Strike, starts lifestealing, and unless he's the one who's getting doomed. Because Medusa, as we said during the draft, is not the primary candidate to get healed in a fight.
Ame soon to his Midas. Fly. As the Asha. Farm's not terrible from the Medusa. The one that really is the Bristle that is starting to worry me, because he'll hit a point where he can carry the game with the Void Spirit to just open up all the space that Ame needs. That being said, they are going to try and take the top of the net worth hero out of the game, but XXS completely avoids this gank. It'll be Polizone that dies, but at the end of the day, that is so fine with 4 heroes coming over trying to kill that Bristle.
Even if they found Bristle, I'm not sure if they would be able to get the kill. They had no Giga Serpent Ward, plus he also just finished Crimson Guard. And if he pops that before they get the initiation immediately, I think he's actually fine.
Let's see if they want to work with that information. They could be going bottom. Ame, he'll be near, but the rest of the Radiant side, Yakult, also close. And this ward will spot Ame. And now they've got the Giga Ward. Terrorize. Ooh, Ame turns Doom's Gorgon's Grasp, gets the kill, takes out this Doom. And they even use that Stone Gaze. But XXS, he's in the area. They still want to push. They still want to try and fight this. They're thinking about it. They want the Rolling Thunder. They'll chase up to XXS.
I don't know about this one.
Now on
XXS definitely not dying unless they have everything on top of them.
Dark Willow just never standing a chance to survive. It was never about getting XXS. The Rolling Thunder was more about getting the support and getting some extra gold.
And what a perfect timing on Bristleback. XXS sitting at 1350 gold. At 1455, will buy his shard immediately afterwards.
We'll get that hairball. As he's in on that green facet, so you want the viscous nasal goo to be up there.
You get hit by that hairball, one more goo, you're not moving. If you don't have any kind of dispel for yourself, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Manta about to be completed on Medusa, so that's going to be her way of dispelling things. You have Oracle, he can definitely save you.
Bobica mid. Despite the fact that this looked like it was going poorly for Yakult for a moment, they've really evened it up. That kill into Ame was pretty big. Hairball lands. Bobica on the run. He does not have anybody to help him out, especially if they're willing to commit the chaotic offering right on top of his head.
He was thinking about it. Maybe they have enough damage. Try to go for the Hex on Bristleback. Force something out, and he did. He did force a really big cooldown out of Warlock. 2-minute cooldown now.
XXS here to work on the tier 1 tower. All 11 treads blink Ags, or well, going half the Ags already, so probably Ags treads blink.
If you skip treads, you probably don't go back for it. Attack speed is nice on Pango. Stats are nice. Power treads feels good, but seems like he will need to prioritize different items. It's one component of your Aghanim Scepter. It does increase your farm, but I think in this situation, considering that they don't have a way to initiate a fight, he needs to pick up this Aghanim Scepter and then blink. And then we'll probably start thinking about, I need a shard as well. And this is what Bobica does really well.
The Giga Ward.
Plants that Giga Ward, forces a rotation. A couple of heroes are showing on the map, which means that his Medusa can get some extra farm. This is exactly what he did when he was playing against tier elements, where they lost the early stage of the game pretty heavily. They pretty much needed one extra fight to win that game, and then they made so many good moves with like the fights around stalling the game for long enough for Medusa to get her items, and then Fly did pick up Divine Rapier, and the game suddenly turned pretty quickly. Whistle with mana burn, they can definitely kill him
Rolling
inside
Thunder,
Wukong's.
and he is going to die here. Emo getting that kill. Yakult starting to find their power, starting to find their moment. A little bit of a foothold in this game. All this time it's been giving Medusa Qualifier the time to farm, who has the gold, yeah, and will buy out on that Diffusal. So now Manta Diffusal.
Did buy out on Diffusal Blade pretty late into that game against tournaments. But double Diffusal Blade is actually very nice. You don't get to use your spells. If you get focused by illusions, by Monkey King as well, inside of Wukong's command, you're gonna lose all your mana so quickly. That's one way to deal with Bristleback. His mana pool is really not the greatest, sitting at 600 mana only.
He's still farming some stacks here. He's got himself that Radiance. He's looking at the BKB. Not the bloodbath we've seen in the previous two games just yet, but teams starting to lay their claim to the game and find that power spike. Especially, you see the difference in net worth on the cores. It's Bristleback, Medusa, and then really kind of the rest. Another smoke play from Xtreme. See what they can get to work. Finding Bobica, Bramble Maze, and the TP attempt, but the 8th Remnant is there thinking about the chaotic offering again. Okay.
Not this time, Bobica.
Unneeded, unneeded. Now maybe?
Remnant in a
been
second.
needed.
They definitely do need the extra bit of control.
It is kind of lacking.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
20 minutes, and they can try for this Tormentor. Nobody in the area for the Radiant side to even contest this if they thought they could. Wilson's gonna grab himself that shard. He's got that shard, upgrading the upheaval, which is usually the case that they don't have it at this point. They find themselves Ollie, and
I love this when Warlock gets the shard and you don't even
doesn't
have
upheaval.
Yeah, you still get some from Fatal Bonds, but it's funny. It's the old Dota 1 meme. Buys Aghanim Scepter because every ulti has been upgraded by Aghanim Scepter at the time. Doesn't scale ulti. That's the old meme. Back in the days when memes were not really advanced as well.
Not your memes anyway.
None of the memes. I don't think memes even existed. Maybe that was like the start.
The start of meme culture. Trying to think of an old meme.
Bad Luck Brian. That's the old meme.
It's an older one, yeah.
Success Kid.
Checks out, checks out. Aegis will be taken by Xtreme, and all of a sudden, you know, Xtreme have gone from kill to objective to kill to objective, and they've taken a 3,000 net worth lead in this game.
Ahmed continues to farm up with Hand of Midas that he did sell in the end. He purchased the Radiance, but with Radiance, he is slowly catching up with Medusa.
Medusa just farming the entire time, and another kill now, this time for the Dark Willow. They place this Giga Ward trying to get a tier 2 tower. They get it close, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Where's that from? You love to use that one.
Some Kekona saying, I guess. I have no idea. My dad used to say it, but I'm pretty sure it's just some old American, you know. That thing only keep close. That only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And that's going to be old 11. Rolling Thunder is still alive. All right. And all the way to freedom.
That's another American saying, all the way to freedom.
Yeah. Back on the Oregon Trail or something like that. I have no idea. I could just say things that sound correct. Not sure many people
Tower is under attack.
will understand.
I'm sure the American viewers, they know the origin of the saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's now 10 in the morning, so definitely possible that they're awake. Shackles connect. Ame controlled and killed. Thinking about the chaotic offering, maybe should have thought a little bit harder. But they're still going to get this kill on the Shadow Shaman. Those in the vicinity, if they go on a fly, if they dive in a little bit too far, they are committing with the Viscous Nasal Goo, but they've got
wants Poloson in the back
Ollie.
lines. He
Yeah,
jumped in
Poloson.
solo.
Astral Step, BKB, Boundless Strike to get the kill to the Warlock. XXS doesn't have a lot of mana, but now fills up. Doesn't really feel like he cares all too much just yet. But you don't have to care about those viscous goo stacks
Is under attack.
when you have the Fortune's End to work with.
I like what Emo's doing. Scouting on the trees after getting the kill on Doom, making sure... Oh, look at this win rate. 50-50, straight up. Anyone's game to take.
All three
3
games have hit this
diffusal blades. This is probably one of the... Do they realize that they have Medusa on the team? Not that they're playing against Medusa?
Could have just let Anti-Mage through and picked Anti-Mage if they wanted to do this.
It's a really good item. Like, you're playing against Bristleback, his mana pool is very limited. Same goes for Doom. He gets hit by a couple of those. He's not going to have enough mana to cast a spell. Giga Ward in the top lane. Ame
Yeah, Ame again.
Tower is under attack.
He is very dead. Bobica doing so much in this game. And just as Xtreme, it's, claimed their stake on the foothold of this advantage, and Yakult are right back at it, getting another kill on Ame and slowing down this Doom again. Becomes a real problem when your carry is just constantly dying.
Oh, they got him.
Found out. Good job there by the Dark Will to start that off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Puts Xtreme back in a good position. They've got this Aegis on the XXS. They're looking for the tier 2 over mid. Disconnect from Emo. Hopefully that wasn't the initial cause of his demise.
And
he's
Emo
reconnected.
Is back. Emo has Shard, BKB, Diffusal Blade. He wants to be able to jump the back lines, kill them, and be kind of a zoning tool when they drop the rock if he can get the ulti off. Because they have very, very good ways to disengage the fight with Rolling Thunder if they don't like it, Wukong's Command, Stone Gaze. Even Oracle ulti to one extent. It's not the best one in the game. Depends how they use it against the Doom.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's top tower.
Into the triangle. 30 seconds left on this Aegis, so not a lot of time to work with it, but they do get a tier 2 tower, and now XXS still just right in front of enemy lines.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He is not afraid. Not afraid at all.
And do you know who else is not afraid? Doom. Ame on Doom. Not afraid to force this item build with Shadow Blade. He really loves this one. I'm just trying to figure out what's so good against, why does he prefer to have it so much? Other than getting that instant initiation, Giga Ward again.
Giga Ward in a spot that's not going to do damage to the tower, but now they're going to try and get the kill here on a return for Bobica. Polosin not needing the chaotic offering.
With the illusions,
but
this is going to be a relatively easy kill. 274 gold for Giga Ward. He needs to get in front. Ooh. He's not in front.
Did Polosin throw down the chaotic offering? It didn't hit anybody. I'm wondering if he used it just to get the gold on the Giga Ward.
Void Spirit was there, so he can definitely kill it, and he got the gold.
Well, a little long cooldown help from a golem, right?
Polosin.
I don't really know what he used the chaotic offering on.
After Bobica TP'd out, he's like, I'll use ulti for whatever happens on the map.
Terrorize, BKB TP. Emo escapes for the moment. Building into the nullifier. He's far from it, but definitely going to be a good item to have. At Xtreme, they're slowly up in their net worth lead. They're up 6,000 now.
Bobica's in again. He's getting the pickoffs, and he's not afraid to die afterwards, blinking in aggressively. I'd like to see Old 11 being paired up with the rest of the team using the Rolling Thunder. They might be able to get an extra kill out of it.
Think about going on XXS. Not really an easy target to kill. They threw that hairball, gives Ollie the information that they do have vision up there, so he'll take out the obs. Astro step in, XM.
He pulled him down again.
In for a second, pulled him down, but Emo still not going to be touched afterwards. They're going to try and focus their attention onto this bristleback. They're not doing much damage. Doom comes through and now throws the Doom onto this Oracle. TP's out though immediately. XXS still in on this one, trying to get a kill here on Old 11. Does successfully get the Pangolier. Stone Gaze is used, and XXS, he's able to escape for the moment, but doesn't turn around to maybe help out XM. Throws a hairball in there. XM doesn't have a lot of mana. Bobica with the blink, as well as the Hex into the Shackle. Chaotic Offering now connecting onto a couple heroes. Ame back into the fight, killing off Bobica with Balance Strike hitting from Emo. They still cannot kill XXS. Emo's going to be in trouble. There's no mana left on Fly, and this is going to be a huge falling over for the side of Yakult, who really wanted to get something out of it and get nothing.
Oh man, Bristleback, he's tanking pretty much every single instance of the damage. He's still dealing the most damage on the team, but he's soaking up all the damage from the enemies. These Diffusal Blades, they're nice, but they also need something extra. Shadow Shaman just got his level 15, so the Hex breaks. This is going to be the big turnaround point, potentially, where they can Hex and Shackle him and then try to kill him.
Starting to fall really far behind. I'm worrying about this Yakult lineup. They've got Medusa, but I don't know. It's going to be tough to hold on. Especially with fights like that. Hold 11. Hit with that Aether Remnant and is going to try to walk away, but there is no escape. They found another. Oh boy. Hero after hero on the side of Yakult falling by the wayside.
They're in full control of this game. These Diffusal Blades, they're kind of not paying off. Medusa, she has another item. She just upgraded into Disperser, but I feel like it needs to be some extra damage. Right now, I'm not really feeling the threat of Medusa. She is annoying. She has Serrated Shiv. Eye of Scotty, burning the mana, slowing them down, reducing the health restoration, but it doesn't feel like she's doing enough. And two supports on side of Xtreme Gaming, they are doing a very good job protecting each other with either Rock, Yule Scepter when they blink in, Terrorize on top of Warlock if necessary.
So far, definitely feeling way better for Xtreme. He's got a decent net worth after being slowed down a bit.
Ame trying to surprise somebody from the Shadow Blade, but still has his Radiance on, so that's not going to be an easy task. He is playing against professional e-gamers on the other side as well.
Yeah, they're going to look and see this Radiance burning and just ask some questions. Emo in the top lane, they're going to need to try and contest this Roche. It's not going to be easy. Conceding it feels like almost conceding the end of the game.
Look at this timing. Double Nullifier. One on Bristleback, one on Monkey King. This could be pretty big. These defensive tools are pretty annoying, being able to dispel mostly Yule Scepter and also Resonant Pulse. That's kind of okay-ish, but it's nothing too crazy. But allowing you to go on top of the target and kill it. Crimson Guard is also dispellable.
They're going to get here in time.
Needs to get out for a second.
Smoke used by Xtreme on the other side. They're just baiting with XXS, knowing that he can't really die. He feels that strong. AC, as this fight's about to take place, delivered on Doom, and the Giga Ward placed down. So Giga Ward placed down, and just going to be picked up by Fly, but now, do they go for the fight afterwards? They will. Astro Step across, doesn't quite get the Shadow Shaman just yet, but they hit the Chaotic Offering.
Oh, Urn of Shadows.
Now Old 11 is in
him.
some trouble. He's on the run from XXS, so the BKB being popped. He's slowed down with the Viscous Nasal Goo. They get the kill to the Pangolier. Fly running out of mana. The jump in from Emo, but he doesn't have a lot of life to work with. Goes to the Wukong's command, but can he get a kill off? They look for XM. They finally get him. It's one kill, though. Bobica dead. 3 heroes gone on the side of Yakult, and now they're going to look over the Medusa, who's out of mana, and now going to be out of life. Pelosin, though, falls to Emo. Emo then dies to XXS. This is a second life on the Medusa, because it's an ultra kill for XXS, and they're going to try and chase down this Medusa.
That's enough for one goo. He's going on to Oracle, switching the target. Oh my god, look at that damage.
Oracle. He's got so much damage, and now he can turn it back around on a Fly. He's got Ame with the health, Ame with the mana burn, which makes this Medusa's life terrible. Fly is not going to be able to get out. He's dead a second time.
Oh, what a difficult fight. First they initiate onto Shadow Shaman, who almost ticks down, and then Oracle forced to blink in, get the dispel on him with the fortunes, and he lives long enough, and Emo lives also long enough with the change of the guard facet, then finds the Warlock in the backlines, gets the kill, but it's still not enough. Cores are pretty much not dying, even though they managed to kill Void Spirit. This Giga Chad Bristleback is a massive issue.
He is just not being stopped, and he had such a good start to the game. There was nothing in his way. And people think that the Ame is going to be the problem, or well, Yakult think Ame is going to be the problem, and he's not. It's this Bristle that they just, even with no mana, Bristle is too much for them. And that has just been the ultimate problem. $15,000 net worth lead. But still a chance for Yakult. The game is never over. Till the throne falls. Terrorize used, but Bobica always here. The problem is, so is XXS. Thinking about the Wukongs, that might just be a deterrent. That is just to get XXS away from them.
A lot of commitment to get a kill on position 4. Ame, again, in the Shadow Blade. Chasing people down, trying to find something without turning off the Radiance. So they can see the burn.
And they can always see the burn and get the observe rewards. Take out the vision. They look to just try to finish the game straight up, or will they wait for the next Roche? Giving any more time to them to try and be able to chip through this Bristleback is maybe ill-advised, but it's a while until Fly gets this Daedalus. I don't even know if that's going to be the item that makes Bristle feel, well, not a god. He's 6'1" and 10. He's unkillable.
She's getting there. She's getting there, but this is also, have in mind, Medusa that didn't go for Butterfly. Usually you do go for Manta style into Butterfly as your pretty standard items, I would say. But maybe thinking that Doom, I mean, Doom is also right-clicker if you're played from the carry role, where you need to get the hit with the Infernal Blade. It could be pretty big. Bristleback also deals quite a lot of right-click damage, and it's also a lot of agility, a lot of attack speed that you're losing without having Butterfly. Scotty is going to give you some 35 attributes, which is pretty nice. This item has been buffed in the previous patch, but I do feel like the damage output is definitely lacking, because he can still get 2 more items. With Medusa on the team, you can always win the game if she gets 6 slotted, so might start thinking about getting maybe that Butterfly, maybe getting Divine Rapier on top of that, but it's a lot of gold. This is like 10,000 plus gold we're talking about.
Which means a lot of time is needed. Although it looks like they're getting that time. It does look as though Xtreme's gonna sit back more so and just try to farm. But I say that, and they've TP'd a couple over bottom. Might be looking to attack. Ame, BKB. Bobica, BKB. And he TP's out, but it's not going to matter. Ollie's dead. And they'll lose Jinkyu. And Pelosin's going to fall here, too. So it's a 2 for 2 on the supports, at least at the moment.
Emo's
but
dying.
Emo's the one who ends up getting caught. Ame's got a kill there. And the Rolling Thunder into the TP out, a fight that ends up happening over in the bottom lane. It felt like maybe Xtreme were able to catch out Yakult, and they did.
I mean, I'm a little surprised they decided to take that fight. There was no Fly. He just had his Daedalus delivered. It was on the courier, but was not in that fight. Nothing to TP to. They definitely do need Medusa's damage. You can see damage has been lacking. Even though Monkey King does quite a lot, he also did go for Disperser of his own, making sure that he has another way of dispelling Viscous Nasal Goo, Curse Crown, Fatal Bonds, a lot of annoying things on their side.
See what Xtreme setup for their next fight. XXS.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Ready to take another tower.
Gaben still loves Medusa. 43%.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, this hero. There's always a comeback chance. Right now, Fly doesn't have anything in his quick buy, so I want to see what the next item's going to be. But he thinks that Divine Rapier is the item of a choice.
They're all grouping together, but Roche still has a minute 15 remaining before it's potentially up. XM has that outer dissimilate ring at level 20. Things just continuing to stay quiet. Do you think they're maybe giving a little bit too much time to Fly potentially?
Every game like this is winnable. It's 20,000, but if Medusa can get enough farm, he's still not cleaning up anything. I mean, I'm down for Butterfly. Maybe
Emo?
they can get away with it. Emo has Boundless Strike ready with the shard, so we'll get out.
Goes back towards his team, but the team just does not want to fight. Or shouldn't want to fight without Emo ready to even engage. But they're healing him up. They've got Ali, they'll smoke. They still need to protect.
Double Rolling Thunder. Old 11 just finished off his refresher orb. Let's see if they can get the initiation.
And they'll go. Let's see Wukong's command. Fly. Does he have the damage this time around? Doom's going to be used here on the Bobica. They'll be able to get an easy kill onto this Shadow Shaman, as well as Ali taking out Emo. That's 3 heroes gone. And nobody dead on the side of Xtreme. They have found themselves around Old 11. That's going to be 4. They don't get Fly, but everybody else is just as good.
There's some hate. Ame really hates Shadow Shaman. We saw it the other day when he was dooming exclusively Shadow Shaman in the fights. He's been doing the same thing for the last couple of fights as well. Fly, he did buy out on Orchid. Wants to have some extra attack speed, wants to have some extra mana. I'm not sure if it's enough. Your Pango just bought out on the item. He did use Refresher Orb, so we'll have 1 Rolling Thunder when he's out. Xtreme Gaming ready to close out this game.
That's been all going their way. They get the mid set of racks. They'll take out the bottom set of racks. Not much standing in their way and not much force stopping them from pushing their way to the grand finals. But this will at least be mega creeps. Ether Remnant, Fly still standing tall. They've got the glyph. A people's down, so it's giving that extra attack speed per second.
And now you're playing against Mega Creeps.
Yeah.
Fly, maybe there was a chance if he had slightly more farm. I mean, he's farm. He's almost the most farm hero in the game. It's just it feels the rest of the team is having struggles to deal the damage. Like, there was one fight that did happen near the bottom Twin Gate, and he was not in that fight. He dealt no damage whatsoever. This was before he was about to get his Daedalus. And we can see that Xingqiu also does have Wind Waker. This item is going to be able to save you, whoever gets initiated on Shadow Shaman. There is Nullifier, however, on Monkey King, so they might still be able to get the kill. It's just that right now, it feels very, very difficult. Eventually, they're going to be going in with the Bristleback, some slow siege, be ready to drop the rock. Even Polo Sun, like this is the item, pretty much. Shadow Blade. You're playing against Nullifier, it's the only item you can buy.
They'll get the Aegis to secure this game, or try to secure the game. Do you think that maybe Fly should have skipped the Diffusal, the Disperser, and gone to the Daedalus first, and then picked up another item before defusal, because the later defusal seems to be the answer, especially when all 3 heroes or cores on your team are getting defusal.
I can understand defusal playing against cores, strength cores who don't have enough mana. XXS, it's just gonna munch on old 11.
And now finally getting the Rolling Thunder out.
Him use a BKB and try to square up and just fight against him. So there's no Rolling Thunder. The pressure's coming off cooldown in a second.
Ame jumped in, got stunned for a second. Wukong's command, and again trying to break the quills of XXS, but that's just not happening. Don't have the tools necessary, and Ame moving forward.
That's a
Looking for
refresher.
somebody.
Wukong's BKB on your Monkey King Medusa. She has pretty much everything. Bloodthorn as well just got delivered. This needs to be the fight.
Can they hold on? Firefly steps forward, but Ame's going to come in. They've gotten the Doom. It's on the Medusa, and that is a problem. Ollie's going to be dead. Buys back immediately. And will buy some mana, so this Doom really doesn't matter. But they did get the buyback out of this Oracle.
Medusa, not the best target to initiate on, but they also got Stone Gates out. There's another Doom. Ame did use that refresher shard. Might try to go for the same thing.
They've got the Nullify and the Abyssal on a Fly, but they take the Aegis out of this Bristleback's hands. Terrorize connects. They've got the Fear XM jumping into the back lines, trying to get a kill here onto Ollie. They drop down the Giga Ward, but is it enough? Being thrown out, and that is again onto Bobica. But they've called GG. That's going to be it. Without Fly, it can't be done. Xtreme, they are going to the grand final after taking the back 2 games, and they will be looking to see who comes through the lower bracket tomorrow in the grand final.
Ooh, Xtreme Gaming securing the spot. I mean, last time these two teams...